Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh, how do I do this? Oh, for fuck's sake! Oh, I can't do it! I can't do it! This is ridiculous! I can't do it!
They're doing a JoJo thing. Could you please explain that? Because I've never seen any. The sound is messed up. What's happened to my voice? Physically deep. Sound completely different. I don't know what to do. Okay, hang on. Maybe if I unplug the microphone.
Okay, how's that?
If he comes out his door. Oh my god! No, I'm done. I'm done. I can't play this game anymore. Push on. Oh god, no, I didn't feel too good. Oh my god. Oh my god! Don't do that.
What happened back in the dungeon? That killed a man! See, I've got to be honest, I think Emily's quite hot, but the problem is that I think her attitude sucks. There we go. Fucking hell! Fuck you! So. Fuck's sake!
This evening, we are going to be playing Passepartout, the Starving Artist. There we go. How much do you reckon this is going to sell for? No, that's not how you spell that. I should have gone with Tories. And then the son is sad about Matt falling off his skateboard. There we go.
This guy's not doing an awful lot. Oh, what's this guy fanning around with this? I mean, this guy's good. Fact. I'm very sure I got the last. I'm very sure I got the last hit in there. What an absolute joke. Yeah, that's bad enough for me to actually not even continue playing the game. This is the worst I felt playing Dark Souls.
You can do a better fucking job than me with your psychology degree and your great glasses. That don't mean shit when it comes to getting out there.
Oh dear, I'm gonna die. Your great glasses. Oh.
Your vast experience hasn't prevented 8 victims from being murdered. Fucking asshole! That's enough.
You said it took 6 inches of rainfall before the victim died. How much time do we have left?
Oh dear, can I go aggressive again?
Let's do this. We're going for 20,000 plus. What I tend to do at the start, I'm actually quite nervous. That was risky, but paid off. I've got to think of a way of getting out of this, and quick. It's not the end of the world. I thought this was going to be a very, very early bath, but we're good. We're good now. This is all pretty standard stuff. At the moment, it doesn't get challenging until later, and it's all about how you set up. It's not where I wanted that to drop, but fine. Oh, fucking hell, Dave, what are you doing? That's the best way of getting out of this. It's not that way. Oh my god, I pressed it the wrong way. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I can't believe I've absolutely fucked it. I pressed the wrong way. I meant to go down, down, right. Well, what better way to finish? That is bad.
I can't do it. It's ridiculous. Oh no, I've done it. I messed up again. I can't believe this. Oh, I'm gonna go mad. I'm gonna go mad. Okay. I can't do it. Oh. Okay, let's try again.
Right, bang him in the oven. Oh, team. Oh, right, hang on, guys. Guys, look. It's really hot in this outfit.
God, what an idiot he looks. Oops.
It was absolutely impossible.
It's Danny Williams! Nicely played through ball. It's Danny Williams!
I know James isn't. Oh my god! It's Danny Williams!
This attack could have been a menace to
Well, actually, it's Danny Williams. It actually is Danny fucking Williams.
finish.
Hello, everyone. Assuming this is all, I think everything's working. I think everyone can hear us. Sorry, we're a bit late. It's my child's fault, or rather, it's my mum's fault for letting my child sleep for about 2 hours this afternoon. This is TCGS Talks Over. Some old Christmas episodes of. I mean, it's supposed to be Bad Influence. That looks like it's the intro to Nightmare.
No,
That's
there's reasons for that.
There's
Fine,
reasons.
don't worry.
There's reasons. My name's Sean Bell. I'm joined by Matthew Murray,
Hello.
James Farley,
All right.
and Dave Turners.
Bring on. Some more mince pies.
Oh, apparently I sound like a robot. That's brilliant.
Also, if everyone watching, is Sean's colour messed up? And actually, no, Sean, I'm watching the stream and you look fine, actually.
Okay. But why do I
Does he sound like this? Does Sean sound like this? I can't decide what crappy indie game is better than the other one. Both of them are
I do say that.
a
all the
publisher puts out.
Right, don't know what to suggest if I sound like a robot. I assume I sound alright to you guys.
Yeah,
So it's an NDI thing, I guess. I'm going to remove myself and re-add myself, and we'll see if that works. Yeah. So I'm going to disappear. These guys will still be able to hear me, but they can do whatever I want, and I can't stop them.
Are you trying to do this with the Xbox Twitch app, Sean? Is that what this is all about?
Great console.
Trying to be out. What you been playing? PS5.
What?
Right, go on.
How's everyone doing? Hope you've had a great
Back,
Christmas.
and I'm all big. Do I sound any different?
You didn't go away, and you're still red and blue.
No, to everyone else I went away, not to you guys.
Okay. It's every month. And I mean, I'm not having a go at you, Sean, because this is just problems that happen. It's not your fault. It's just every month we sit in 10 minutes. James just gets his phone out and.
Well, we haven't started yet, have we?
I mean, we have. Right, it still sounds robotic. I guess I'll hang up from the call and then rejoin you.
Yeah, do that.
Right, won't be a minute. For everyone watching at home, everyone's going to disappear and then hopefully come back and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, well, your colour's fixed this end.
Oh, the colours are fixed. That's something.
It's fine.
Bring
on.
That's why I'm not doing anything, because it's just going to end up with that in it. It's just.
Yeah.
Just getting up with you
Well,
guys
definitely,
reciting the song.
yes,
Nice
there's no
time.
microphone.
You're just going to be doing this. And then at the end of it, you're going to ask for 25% of Patreon money.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so frustrating because obviously it's not the chat's fault. Obviously they're on like a 30. Oh, fuck's sake! It still sounds the same. Right. The only thing I can think is if I mute. Hang on one sec. Right. There we go. I'll be out of sync with my video, I think, but it should sound better at least. Is that chat? Is that all right, chat?
Okay, wait 30 seconds. Wait 30 seconds. If it's all right, type the number 12 because then we'll know that you're referring to that one and not the previous.
Right, that's better. Hang on,
Do I sound okay?
I think I'll
Do I sound robotic?
What this game that no one is talking about? That is my game of the year.
Because it was a very good game.
You're right, lads.
Sorry, it wasn't Rocket League.
Naughty Dog are actually the devil.
I did say that. So that makes sense.
I didn't play it because I might have enjoyed it. Can we just put this in front of every stream now from now on? just that little bit.
Yeah.
Are you good? You done?
Yeah.
Cool. Right, should we watch Bad Influence then, yeah?
Bring on some bad influence.
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, should give a little intro, James, to what we're doing tonight.
We're watching Bad Influence. These are from 1992, 1994, and 1995. So there's 3 episodes of these.
What happened in 1993?
I don't know. It wasn't on
Something
YouTube.
bad must have happened.
Yeah, really bad. Yeah.
Really bad.
So I'm quite looking forward to this because I've not actually watched them. So I don't know if there's going to be any more incidents like the Macaulay Culkin and Michael Jackson thing in the other one that we did.
They were more tame, weren't they? Bad Influence.
Yeah, usually, yeah. But I don't know.
Yeah, it was on at like 3
liked Bad
PM on it.
Influence when I was growing up. It was good. It's
Cool. Right, okay, nice little insight into James Farley. Let's get playing.
what do you want me to say?
Shh. Press play.
The most challenging game.
This is Nightmare, James.
Fridays.
This is just the preamble. It's fine.
Nightmare. It's the last one tomorrow, so that means that 4 boys.
Whoa.
Who's this guy?
And they match the dreaded Lord.
Have you found Wally yet?
Be exciting.
I mean, they were a little bit less subtle with product placement back then, weren't they?
Racing simulator. There's advice on Christmas stocking fillers and a report from Violet in Japan.
I don't remember this guy.
It's about talking about all the latest in
I
computers.
don't think this guy remembers this guy.
From Bad Influence.
He was actually CGI, Matt.
Oh, right, okay.
I remember
I
this.
love Bad Influence.
God.
Andy Crane, a hero.
They're in the gap. What?
I don't know. Look at it.
Wonder
They
what
are
Violet Berlin's doing these
Eight
days.
sports.
Andy Crane, I think, is doing radio, isn't he, still?
Welcome to Bad Influence. This week, Take That will be trying out the very latest arcade racing game.
Our main review is the long-awaited Super Mario Kart.
Fucking hell.
You the ABC Guide to Tokyo. That's A for arcades, B for battle simulators, and C for CDs.
All this plus an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at the ultimate rock and roll game.
I had about 8 different things I could have said for C then, and I kept quiet. Are you proud of me?
ST owners
For computer games.
We've had a lot of letters on the subject of software. Like this one.
Oh, they talk about the ST, Dave.
More and more software.
Look, tell you what, just stick some venting pipes. Just hang them from the ceiling. That looks futuristic, doesn't it?
It's
Like some venting pipes on the roof there.
They might have been waiting for this.
We missed the
Brand new,
question.
hot off the presses to be with us in the Bad Influence
Fuck the
studio
question,
this
Matt.
week. Atari say this is not
Christmas.
an upgraded ST. It's a brand new, revolutionary piece of equipment. So what's so new about it? Well,
Is this the one you had, Dave?
It's got something called a DSP,
Yep.
a digital signal processor, and what that allows.
Well, it looks like anyway. We had the Atari STE 1.1.5 meg.
You can do it from video,
So-
you can do it from the CD, or if you've got a microphone
Yeah?
like this, you can do it from the microphone. So I shall just record something in now.
It was me at the intro of these things.
Quality sound, however, I shall just knock something in for you. Here we go. Merry Christmas. That was awful, I'm sure you'll agree, but we'll just play that back
Yep.
to make sure it's there. Hang on a
Wow.
second.
This thing plays audio.
This is actually what we used to do the podcast.
Now, how can we improve that? Well, it can do effectively.
Is this how he spent his whole Christmas day? He goes into a folder, there's 80 recordings, and they all go, Merry Christmas!
Look, check this out. This is 8-bit mono version. This is this one.
He was recording at 50,000 hertz.
Harmonizer,
What the
Hold on.
fuck?
and I move
This is the first gaming podcast.
that bit of my voice up a bit like that.
Let me play my recording.
Okay, on
Bring
that.
on, bring on.
Okay, on that.
Let's listen.
Play it back, and see if that improves my singing. Yeah, well, possibly.
Hours of fun.
Not. That's just some of the things you can do with sound. Hang on a second.
See if it repeats. I mean, we could.
And they said the ST had no games.
We could clean that up.
What just happened to my webcam? Look at that.
You can knock up some rather nice pictures.
Look at a nuke's just gone off in front of me.
You can run these in sequence, you can run them really fast, or you can run them slower. If you're going to take graphics and run them in sequence, that makes you think of animation. And if you put animation with a CD...
Why are they doing it so quickly? And then why are they?
I think they realised in the edit that it was actually quite boring.
Imagine being able to
just like, just cut through it. It's fine.
With CD sound. Well, if you're a Falcon owner,
Yeah, we've all played Cyberpunk.
you'll be able to by the middle of 1993. They've got at least 109 software houses in Europe alone working on software for this equipment. Sadly, top-of-the-range model like this will set you back about £900, but there will be cheap ones available later in the year. £900? Will your ST software on it?
Yeah, my dad didn't play that. Right, he always told my dad always told me that he bought it from someone from work, and I'm increasingly starting to realise that he nicked it.
Including Yoshi, Toad, Donkey Kong Jr., and of course the Mario Brothers themselves.
Yeah.
We're talking. It's excellent. It's the kind of game you can just get into straight away. There's nothing serious about it.
And that music, this is still very playable. The original one.
Shells will make you
I completely disagree. Yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess to play now.
Collect these and they make your cart go faster and give you extra points.
That's not slight on the game, James. It's still amazing.
A guy with a fishing rod will help you out.
But it's really hard to play these days.
Played as a single player.
Not as hard as Mario 64.
Mario Kart is brilliant. But played as a two-player,
you're probably right there, actually.
especially in the battle mode, head-to-head, where the aim is...
But look at that! Look at the draw distance.
It's infinite. What are you talking about?
You won't get bored of this game. It's like Cyberpunk and Street Fighters by Nintendo.
It's just one flat
done
plane
that one.
forever.
It's my favourite game ever.
See, I remember when I saw this the first time, and I was very unimpressed because I just thought they're slapping Mario on everything these days. I didn't think.
And so the final scores for...
You mean you were always cynical,
They gave it
James?
2 out of 5.
Not
I
really.
forgot
no.
they gave different scores for boys and girls. That's weird.
What?
What? Hey, it's Namrood.
Christmas tinsel is in my...
What did they do, Sean? They had different scores from girls and boys.
Yeah. So
They
for
did,
every
yes.
review, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, the boys gave it 3 stars and the girls gave it 4 or whatever.
Favorite game of all time.
Oh.
Yeah.
The World Tour. And it works on all formats, including consoles. Now, as you know...
I mean, this guy was wasted on this show. I wonder what he did after this.
Yeah, no, he looks literally wasted on this show.
Get even more rock and roll excitement from it by typing in Keith on the title screen. Not only will you jump
this guy's still alive.
7 Wembley Stadium, but now you'll be able to hear samples of Frisky Pete's drums by pressing different keys. So,
You got a new tattoo, Sean?
No, just rolling my sleeves up, mate. It's business
And
time.
the way you were like going like this. You're like, you're
doing a Peter Moore. Got a bad influence.
He's like doing a
tattoo
Peter
on me.
Moore.
What band before what band?
go wild.
I mean, this is definitely aimed at young kids, isn't it?
It's very 90s though.
Known as Electronic City, a maze of hundreds of shops and stalls.
I mean, you'd see stuff like this and it was like just a fucking alien planet or something. It's like, oh my god, it's just so
Slowed down a bit lately.
unusual to like...
Flowing range of games, hardware and peripherals.
Because like at this point, I'd never even been to London. Like, so this was just like completely unfeasible.
I've only got one thing to say about
I'd still absolutely love to go there. I gather it's changed massively now.
Let's turn this down a bit. I can barely hear you guys.
Japan.
Yeah,
I think Matt was very quiet then.
In Haneda, on the outskirts of Tokyo.
Oh, Matt, the Holy Grail. For someone that likes Sega.
This is where it all happens, the hub of the world games industry. The brightest and best designers working at the edge. Well, most of them.
Working at the edge.
I can't sleep.
My first meeting was with the head of the
even
Sonic
that
2 project team. I'm not allowed to mention his name. Security is very tight here. But he spent
What?
hours...
What?
But I have shown his face.
Yeah.
It was very interesting. No, really, very, very interesting.
How long did they wait until they said, what happened to your finger?
Are you working on Sonic 3 now?
It's a secret.
Well, that was certainly working. Whoa.
Because I'm from the future, and please don't.
Movie all rolled into one.
Oh my god, it's James's favourite.
Yeah, it's Night Trap.
Into the
Oh,
security system of a house under investigation. You can see what's happening in each room by switching.
What's it called again?
Night
Something.
Trap.
Night Trap. Have you tried Night Trap? It's my favourite.
Mysterious intruders and a feeling that there's something not quite right. I'm not going to
So bad.
Let's just say it's not for the faint-hearted. This is boxing game and you can play 2 players. The trouble is, I haven't got anyone to
What,
play.
James?
They're all too busy.
It just never. She just went.
Arcade machines. Sega are looking at a new generation of arcade simulators. A
This is where they like spent all their money, isn't it? Just on all this stuff.
synchronization with the path of your vehicle.
Go on, you can make the joke, Matt. Go on.
You are right.
Matt, you're coming through super quiet on mine. I don't know if it's the same for anyone else.
Yeah, I'm really struggling to hear him.
In the year 2050.
Yeah, suddenly everyone quiet. I don't quite know what.
Before the Japanese public get a chance to try out.
Am I quiet too?
No, you're fine.
I should be the loudest, if anything.
This is the newest amusement centre in Tokyo, but don't worry, I've got lots of change.
Okay.
I wasn't really worried.
Well, worried
Imagine
I'm
if
not
she
there.
just went like, "Oh, we've come all the way to Tokyo. I've not brought any change, so back home, I guess."
Back home I go.
That's just golf. This is a weird bit, isn't it? It's like, look how much fun we had.
But I'll be back. Sayonara.
That was it.
That's it. That's all the critique
Like, look,
we
this
get.
is where I went on holiday. Here's some footage, some arcades.
The
That's
last
it.
20 seconds of that was, look at me have fun for a bit.
Yeah.
Studio, where else? If you want one for Christmas, it'll set you back a cool £20,000, but it really is an amazing bit of equipment.
Wait for the Mega Drive version.
Yeah, wasn't it like £3 on the Switch the other night?
Watch the race from 4 completely different positions. At the moment, I'm sitting behind the wheel, a la racing driver. But
I tell you what, the person he's racing against not very good, is he?
down on it. Now we were sitting around in the office thinking, who leads the kind of lifestyle we test this machine? Fast cars, jet set, showbiz.
Yay!
Well, we couldn't.
Yeah.
Take that. Well, take that. They'll
Can I
do.
sit
Hello,
down?
boy.
I mean, it's no Michael Jackson, but
I play Game Boy most of all. I'm a bit of a.
I play Game Boy most of all.
Game Boy on tour.
Football here and there.
Is that Gary Barlow?
I'm a Lynx man, personally.
I'm the man.
Well, I think Bad Influence ought to take That in a small race.
Fair enough.
so only 3 have take that. They couldn't get the other 2.
Bad influence. Come on, bad influence.
Yeah,
Smack him.
Marco and Howard.
Come on, Rob. See you.
Oh, whoa! I've already got it.
Oh, for Christ's
Oh, Andy Crane smashed him.
Hang on, I'm there.
We're both doing about 200 mile an hour, I think.
Oh, but
I mean, you're too zoomed out, Andy.
I lost my racing line.
I always got the impression from this though that Andy wasn't really into games at all, and he just got this somehow, and just yeah.
He needs a job.
Latest single, yes. Some balloons for Spiky the Hedgehog. Well, perhaps not. One of those racing machines, yeah. Ah, good cheer, festive flirtlers. I'll finish my list for Santa later. Now, this is a cheat for Jaguar 220 on the Amiga. To be a lap record holder,
Cheats, man.
this cunning manoeuvre during the
Love that shit.
Cinemas DLC these days, don't they?
That's so wrong, isn't that, on video game shows when we were kids? Because the percentage of the audience that will give a shit.
Now, if you'll excuse me.
What would if Namrood had a show now? What would be the modern equivalent of a cheats section?
And a hedgehog.
It'd just be guides, wouldn't it? It'd just be the guides, man.
DLC's available this week.
Yeah.
It'd be that, wouldn't it?
Oh, Slimy Footless is how you get 1,000 G's on Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion.
Hardest.
Here's how you get Cyberpunk to run at more than...
Classic games available. Things like Zack Future Wars and Panzer Kickboxing.
Take my Kraken.
Anything between 10 and £13.
Oh, Zach McCracken.
Mario fans, there's a great line in T-shirts for about £10 to £14, although they do all tend.
I had that black one.
Did you?
I had that Sonic T-shirt. Yeah, definitely, 100%.
There you go, tips videos, mate.
$9.99, or if you don't
Sega Power
you want to read,
great magazine.
There's the
Sega Power.
Mega Drive tips book at $9.99, or this
Oh,
one
that looks
Miss
great.
Berlin's got her eye on, the Super NES Games Secrets, including.
I imagine you saying that in the shop with the money in your pocket and just going, "I'll buy something else."
Oh my God. This ballistic joypad, or
Whoa.
this touch-sensitive turbo touch joypad.
Oh, fuck, they were awful. Those
Was there ever a good third-party controller ever?
No, they're always terrible, especially those competition pro ones that you got for cheap because they were in the Argos catalogue.
My mates had
the official one.
My mate at school had one of those magnifying glass things with the speakers either side for his Game Boy. We ripped the shit out of it. Oh,
that was the Handy Boy, wasn't it?
yeah, that's it. Handy Boy. It was like, what? Can't you see the screen? Can't you hear things?
You just slot it in.
Fuck me, the size of that.
Matt definitely had one of those.
I couldn't afford a game.
I've got infinite lives. I play as large Mario, and I can run through.
And like I said, I had to borrow our nights. I had to give him a lunch. My watch.
This is Matt's Twitch stream in
It's got
night.
the little fucking booklet in the back.
That is brilliant. That is brilliant.
Set in a spooky old Transylvanian castle. You play Jonathan Harker, a young English solicitor, and you need to find
Jonathan Harker.
before the count.
Okay, I've got it.
Here's Ben.
I love fake names. They're the best.
Handheld games
That's
I've seen for
look
a
at the
while.
size of that,
It's
Lynx.
difficult because the controls are very tricky. You press B to select
It
the
looks like
icon
a
mode.
Switch with those
Up and down,
hoary
select
Joy-Cons on the side.
Taking out a receipt.
Here I'm using use. Then
Is
you
it amazing anyone else that the director wasn't just like, mate, look up. Mate, cameras,
press up and down
look
to
up.
select the object which you're going to
It's funny that we're complaining about the bezels on our phones these days. Look at that bad boy.
That's the Model 1 Lynx. It was terrible. The second one was much better.
Because he wants to treat me.
Ooh,
It's a bit raunchy, isn't it?
yeah, it's a little bit, isn't it?
Look like it's a
You
movie.
take
him,
The music and sound effects had real depth to the game. It makes you feel as though you're in a spooky castle. I'd give this game.
Also, I'll put you in my playlist because I'm 9.
Games to like this one. I'm totally addicted to it.
Just go, cease.
It's a bit of getting used to because the icons are so fiddly. But for a puzzle game, it's good. I'd buy this.
I really hate
Okay.
games, but I must admit it looks impressive.
That shirt is something else.
And the scores for Dracula the Undead. The boys
Oh,
gave it
girls will give it higher.
3 out of 5, but the girls liked it better and awarded it 4 out of 5.
One for the birds, clearly.
Sean.
What, I'm mocking
Yeah,
their
cancelled.
scoring system. It's
Christmas
ridiculous.
cancelling for Sean.
This is Sean backpedaling.
Yeah.
We should start using the
For
score
sure.
system on the podcast.
I'm just saying.
Won't work though, will
I'm
it?
just saying, before Twilight, there was Dracula the Undead on the Atari Lynx.
But it's not that hard to get into.
Bring on, bring on.
The main problem for me is in picking a formation and playing it.
I've actually, do you know what? I will. I fucking will. Bring on a mince pie.
I've never played American football
You're
before,
joking.
but I did enjoy this. Although I've played it for quite a bit.
I'm sorry, you didn't enjoy this. There's no way anyone enjoys American football when they play it for the first time. It's a nonsense
I bought
I
my
sport.
Mega
don't,
Drive
because
second-hand
Camille will
off
watch this
my
in a month's
friend
time, and then
Alex
he'll
Perry's
give
brother.
me shit for...
And I love
What's that? What was that, Sean?
I said Camille will watch this in a month's time, and then he'll give me shit for allowing anti-American football talk on the show.
It's rubbish. It's rubbish. It's slow. It's dull. It's boring.
John Madden 93. The boys gave it a good score, 4 out of 5, and the girls liked it as well. They gave it 4 out of 5 too.
Do you know the thing is though, right? And this is totally legitimate. That back then, that was quite progressive.
Important.
Yeah, I suppose it
Games
was.
as well. Yeah. Now you look at it and just go, "What the fuck are you doing?"
And you won't have to touch any of that scrotty turkey and Brussels sprouts.
You just imagine some producer doing this.
Golden Axe 2 on the Mega Drive.
Yes, it's here.
Let them score it. It's separate, but let them score it.
Then move down to options and tap B and C like that. Then you move down to exit.
I do like the gimmick with the slapping it on his head.
So do I. So do I. I was about to say they're making the best of a bad segment, aren't they?
Will now appear in the centre of the screen.
Do you
Quite
think
utilising
this is on
something
the other
similar
one?
for my Twitch streams?
Press start.
do you think that these are going to be on the next ones?
Feeling a little peckish.
I don't know.
Or do you reckon they
certainly, yeah.
Did they
He
get
was
rid
in
of it?
all of these, I think.
Spikey, I told you not to go near that saucepan.
I want to read the date.
Who knows if there was any context for that?
Meantime, have a very
It might have
No,
just been...
he's mentioned his pet hedgehog a few times.
No, the
He
source.
set the gag up, Sean. It was...
Oh, here we go. It's the data blast. Oh, we could actually do this. Quick, someone.
Oh, we're not going to.
There's some stuff about take that then.
I remember trying to do this, and then you pausing it on your VHS, and it with all that juddering around, so you still couldn't read it anyway.
Yeah,
it's true.
God, that's right. So that's the first episode done. So we're doing 3 of these, right?
How many messages do you reckon they got going? Change the show. We want you to do things differently.
Talk about the games I like.
What you said
I'm
this week.
starting a petition down my street.
This is 1994, so when would this be? This would be
louder.
nearly
Rise of the
PlayStation
Robots.
starting to get towards then.
Someone paying 1,000 Russian bots to send in postcards.
Yeah. So I'm saying the girls gave it 4 stars out of 5, but it's definitely a 2-star game. You should all cancel your job. You should cancel the show.
We preview next year's best beat 'em up, Killer Instinct on the Ultra 64. We've also
The Ultra 64. God damn.
Saturn!
Oh, the Saturn.
The Japanese Saturn.
We'll be having a special data blast with all the
I
cheap.
always thought the grey one looked a lot better than the black one.
I love it. Yeah.
If you want to record it, it features this week's main review. The new
This already looks way better,
It
doesn't
does, doesn't it?
Christmas is
A mere 2 years later.
Yeah, I know. The 1993 one went so badly that they put all the effort into the 1994 one.
I just realised. So that last one was meant to be a Christmas episode. I did not get that at all.
That's because no one sung Bring On. Bring On.
Oh yeah, I mean, how are you meant to know if people don't do that?
team is completely addicted to Tetris. Now, you might think
Yeah.
Tetris is a really sad and lonely one-player game, but
No, fuck off.
the way it works is quite simple. Each player can choose a different.
You might think Tetris is for fucking losers.
This player here is on level 0, so that's quite simple. Over here, the player is on level 3. Also, every time you get rid of a row of lines, they're transferred onto the other player's screen.
Motherfucker.
She explaining Tetris multiplayer. It came out in 1989.
There are 2 so-called multi-tabs that you can use to play any of the SNES multiplayer games. You simply plug them into the joypad port and then...
This is just itching me now.
So the 4 of you can play games like...
I got too hot.
Jimmy Connor's Tennis, or the one they're playing here, which is Super Bomberman 2. Look, there's player 1, player 2, player 3, and player 4.
What does it matter which player's which?
Different.
Who cares?
The Mega Drive has got their own adapter.
Brian is player 2. Next segment.
In which the 2 extra joysticks
Yeah.
are actually built into the cartridge.
That was a cracking game, that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really was.
Coaching games are so good, weren't they?
Or this is a 4-way play sports adapter.
Fucking hell, how many options you got?
NBA Live 95 and FIFA 95, which we can't get this lot off.
But for the ultimate in family football fun, what about this? This is the 3DO version.
Innuendo there that we'll avoid.
This is how it works. Excuse me, Jim.
No one ever played 6-player FIFA on a 3DO,
Player 2
apart from here.
into the joypad.
That never happened.
Player 3 into the joypad of player 2, player 4 into player 3, player 5 into player 4, and as I'm going to be player 6,
Daisy
I've got
training
to
those
plug
pads,
the
aren't they?
joypad of player 5.
Oh, that's right. They,
God, that would be
Daisy
so
chains.
annoying.
Yeah. On the pitch, you've got to figure out.
Oh,
what
fuck.
to do.
Sorry, everyone just go. I've got it.
Seem to follow each player eerily around the pitch.
Twisted on the 3DO is our Christmas favourite, though. Up to 4 players can compete in a zany game show.
Roll the cyber die, complete the various challenges, and
Roll a cyber die.
Twink Dale is your bleached, toothy host, and players pick contestants as Twink guides them to the top of a spiralling...
It's Buzz. It's Buzz.
I've called Andy over for a challenge. Now,
Is that Manchester City?
A, B or C to
No,
choose
United.
from.
United.
And I've done
It's United.
Now, Andy is Major Steel, so he has to choose A, B or C. So this is the actual challenge.
what is happening? I'm not following any of this.
They're doing a segment on best multiplayer games for Christmas, Sean.
Okay, but what's this?
This is a quiz show game. Do you not watch this while we're watching it?
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like nothing's going in. It's like a Fast and Furious film. It's just a load of colours and shapes and noises. I
Yeah,
can't...
that's exactly what it is.
Nobody bothered to turn up to my Christmas party.
I'll be honest with you, it's not as good as I remembered it.
No.
But instead, to invite...
Look, James is so disappointed.
Hello, Granny Nam. Hello, dear. My, how you've grown. Yes, Granny, you're just in time to help me with my first cheat.
Oh, they've done the split screen thing. They're not quite looking at each other.
Yeah.
On the Mega CD. What's a Mega DC, dear? Oh, never mind, Granny. Just do what I say and pick up that black thing. Right. On the options screen, just press A 5 times.
I would come over and help you, but I can't do that because I will.
For reasons.
You're not actually here because I'm you, not me.
Animation as the game plays itself. Hey,
Granny, Gran.
Give Granny Nam a great big kiss.
How are they going to do this?
No, get off, Granny.
Well, they did that without one too bad.
This is the classic computer game Doom. Not so much a PC shoot 'em up, more of a legend. It started life 2 years ago.
I mean, are they all right showing this?
Wanted a piece of
No. Definitely not.
Sent to Mars to clean up.
Fuck it, why not? It's Christmas.
No rules.
Shareware. That was so you could get a free version of the game by downloading it from the internet.
The program is
No, that's called piracy.
Doom 2 with new monsters, 30 new levels, and a proper price tag.
Really not as good as Doom.
The idea is beautifully simple. Kill or be killed. And get to the next level before the undead get you.
They're talking about the internet, though. Internet wasn't like...
I'm going to say, yeah.
really back then, is it?
This is how it looks.
And if you get stuck, you can go on to www.youtube.com.
With this special joypad overlay that shows
Oh, fuck.
weapons are.
And
Forgot about that.
32 bits on the 32X. This
It's
version
in 32 bits, this one. Jesus, look at that.
fewer levels.
That was,
See
I
the
think
ex-
this is
see
the
the
worst
extra
version I
bits.
think ever. The 32X one was.
She looked cool, no matter what she did.
It's true.
Is far superior. It also has much better gameplay.
Dripping cool.
60 quid, and you're saying games haven't gone up in price.
32X version has a border around the picture, so you get less of a sense of actually being there. Also, the colours in the Jaguar version are more subtle, which is good. The Jaguar game has the true gloom.
Yeah, everyone said Jaguar version was like the best one, wasn't
It's the original.
I remember a time like
The Jaguar version was the only one like id actually did themselves, like they were involved with.
Oh, really?
Whereas the other ones were all ports.
They take 3 hits, but as you can see, they're actually biting me, which makes me lose a lot of my energy.
I think the Jaguar version didn't have sound, didn't have music rather, for some reason.
That'd be perfect for Matt then.
This is the Jaguar version. It's much faster and scrolls better.
I can hear sound, James.
No, there's no music.
Play Doom. You shoot everything that moves and scavenge.
Oh, you said sound.
I then corrected myself.
Here I am playing one of the last levels, which is pretty simple.
That
This
is
version is quite
clearly loads worse.
Yeah, I can't see shit on this version.
The Jaguar one was the basis for a lot of other ports actually. Because it was, it was the primo
I like,
console.
I like the fact, James, that you've invited the sun to watch you, to watch this with you.
I can't do anything about that. It's just stuff. That's what I was wearing the hat.
Blocking the sun's view, mate.
And the score.
Photo clips.
The Jaguar version gets 5s.
And the 32X version gets average 3s.
Oh, so no, there's still the boy girl thing, right?
Ding dong, ding dong.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Christmas bells.
Deservedly
The party is going with a real swing.
Why has Namrood got a baby?
Good little baby Bam.
Oh, he's got sick on his shoulder, see?
That does happen, to be fair.
It's for Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles on the Snezzy Wezzy. Yes, it is. And you'll be able to play with 2 new extra characters. Yes, you will.
Someone plays in the park. It's like, what are they thinking right now?
What are they supposed to be doing? Is it a party?
Down A, right, X, and up. And then, when you start to play, you'll be presented with 2 new extra characters.
One way of editing out the...
King and Karai, hey! Oh, Bam, what have you done? Excuse me, can I have some help over here?
Good thing.
Typical 90s dad can't change a fucking
Baby
nappy.
did the poo, didn't it?
There's a 3DO.
Baby did the poo.
Certainly did.
Then there's a CDI, which lets you play movies on.
This is just strange. It's just really strange. There's no structure at all.
No. Yeah, it's just constant. Oh, now this is happening. Oh, now this is happening. Now look at this. Now look at this. It's relentless.
I'll tell you what, though, I genuinely love this era of like consoles just because there were so many of them. Like everyone was trying to bring out stuff, but they were mostly all
really
terrible.
expensive as well.
Due to replace the Mega Drive and supersede the stopgap 32X. It's a 32-bit machine. It'll play games on carts, the slot in the back here, and also on.
No, it doesn't. That's not true.
It didn't play any games on.
This machine.
That never happened over here, did it?
From Japan for
Didn't happen anyway, I don't think.
The Saturn will be available in the UK next year.
This one's the Sony PlayStation, and it's also just been released in Japan. Now, it's a
Ooh.
big name so far as hi-fi and TV are concerned, but this is their first foray into the world of video games.
Exactly. They're not built for this market. Boo.
Over 100,000 machines were sold on the first day alone. It comes with
What?
arcade games
Stick to hi-fis, you losers.
attempting to beat each other in a race to the coast.
It's Cyberpunk again.
You're not. Grow up, James.
Roads and canyons. Different racing conditions hamper your progress, and drivers will even have to race at night. The level of detail and realism has never been matched outside an arcade.
And we never heard from Sony ever again.
To be fair.
The PlayStation's got quite a few nice little touches.
Mountains.
Like all the game CDs come in this funky black colour. Put that in.
Yeah, that was weird, wasn't it? It just got scratched up really easy.
Yeah, so just so they could control manufacture of the discs.
You've only got 4 direction buttons, but you've
That was never comfortable.
on the top there, and 4 more at the side, like 2 SNES pads stuck together. And you get to play a nice little game of Galaxians while you're waiting for Ridge Racer to load.
Yeah, that was a big deal, wasn't it?
Should be out in the UK in about a year's time. And so to Nintendo Super.
Can you imagine?
64. Well, details about it are right.
Like, oh, by the way, here's the IGN.com. Here's the PS5. It's out in Japan. You'll have it in about a year.
Yeah, a year.
What?
Of the Ultra 64, and they say that when the console version is released, the electronic jiggery pokery inside it will be able to run exactly the same games as this baby. So
it wasn't.
No, James, jiggery pokery happened. They could.
amazing 3D sprites and backdrops. The action takes place.
They're not 3D sprites, though, are they, Crane?
Out of the screen to focus on the warriors.
It was better on the 64, didn't it?
You can fight.
I always hated Killer Instinct. It wasn't very good.
No, shite.
Shapes or play as
People disagree with you on that though, James.
I'm sure they will. Yeah.
But you're not
new on the
beat 'em
disc
up
meant to be
game.
alright, innit?
So why are you so definitive on your opinion with that? You're
can't
not a
cover
beat 'em
it.
up.
one of the amazing features of this game, a 27.
What do you say? I can't hear you.
You're not even a beat 'em up fan though, are you?
I like some beat 'em ups.
It wasn't very good.
That was will beat him up.
No, when this
No.
came out, I was big into beat 'em ups because they were like a big genre, weren't they? Like everyone was playing them.
A party game.
Still are.
A quick cheat for Lawnmower Man on the Game Boy. Hold down A and right, and then turn the Game Boy on. Then when the license screen appears, hold down left, B, and start.
Fuck is this?
This is a terrible game. Garza as well. This is great.
And start, and you'll get a secret level select menu. And now, party time. Right, listen.
Like, didn't they think, look, this is going to be very limited, the audience that are going to want to watch this show, right? Let's not choose a segment that limits that audience even further.
No, it's a computer.
We've got all the
I
people that are
think
into
you'll find
games.
what happened
Then
here was they
all
just
the
thought
people
it's for
wanna watch
kids.
this.
Means 2 words.
Yeah, I know, but no one gives a fuck. Like, it's weird. It's weird, man.
No, it's Lawnmower Man, Lawnmower Man. Right.
Do you think he wrote all the sketches?
Yeah,
definitely.
And yeah, and he had to go to me like, right, I need like 8 people all wearing parkas. It'll make sense. It'll look good on. I promise it'll look good when it's finished.
I need 8 of you from production to do this.
It comes out on the SNES this week.
Hey, James.
These were good games. These were.
Oh, this was convenient.
I remember this bit from the films.
Leia in a bikini, suddenly. It's a great
I
game.
enjoyed these ones. These were good.
You need to kill a
Is it better than Killing Instinct?
Don't use Luke's force. Use Han Solo's gun. Here's Lakesh.
I should add the look right.
The best of the Star Wars games, but I hope it's the last.
50 quid!
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I'm generally fed up with it.
It's the best Star Wars game, but he hopes it's the last.
This is probably the best showing of Mode 7 on the SNES. I've got to try and get behind the tires so I can shoot them down without them shooting me back. With so
Well,
many
you'd be all over this by now, wouldn't you, Dave?
be a real Star Wars fan to buy this.
No. 50 quid, though. And I thought we said that the games hadn't. James, I thought you said that games had been. They are more expensive now.
Please, Pierre, saying
What do you mean? They are. They're 80 quid now.
Super Return of the Jedi gets a
On the PS5.
It's a limited edition
Oh
version.
shit! Here we go.
Started work on this.
Do you like this?
Beat 'em
game
up fan
James?
James Farley. You must have played this.
This was amazing. Yeah, this was one of the best ones.
Your fighting style. If you repeat
I mean, this came out on
fuck off.
everything, and
I will
yeah,
be
it was
right
one
back.
of
You, Andy
the
Crane.
worst games ever.
20 formats altogether, and this week it's out on the console.
20 formats.
Yeah.
Which is 20 more than it should have come out.
See, I
on.
remember, do you remember all the advertising for this, like all the build-up, because it was all that
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's got AI and all
Yeah,
that, and it's like
And there's no gore.
10 or more on SNES, so just like the
She
whole.
just said it's shit because there's no gore.
you could, there's only one character you could play as.
Head, and I'm
I
trying
mean,
I think no, you
I've
could
not seen
play as
what-
the others.
what
It's
they're
just
gonna
in the
give this.
campaign you only played as the cyborg, didn't you?
But you just get some shards of
I think the others had really limited
They
movesets.
shouldn't come up with some kind of oily ooze or something. Also, the controls are very
I'll
unresponsive.
tell you what, if they give this a good score, they've been bought off. Like, definitely.
Nice looking.
What a waste of £1 million! Savage.
Yeah, no, she's ripping it apart.
It's a real disappointment.
This is a
mate.
really
They're
dull.
calling it out.
They knew.
Perhaps they spent too much time on the look of the game and not enough time on the playability.
They got their integrity.
Yep.
No, they spent too much time
They know what they're
optimising
talking
for
about.
20 formats.
The boys and
2, Jesus.
Because on 20 formats, Dave, I'm not sure if you missed that. 20.
Last week's competition prize was one of these, a Werns Multimedia PC. We asked you, what is the actual date, the 12th day of Christmas? The answer is the 6th of January, because you start counting from Boxing Day. Oi, stop blowing me up. The lucky winner is Vicky Brown from Oxford. Well done. Over 26,000 people entered. But 10 runners-up get bad influence t-shirts.
26,000 people.
Reckon she ever got the prize?
It's the last programme in the series, but instead a special data blast which will include all our hints, cheats, tips and game reviews from the whole series, all 15 programmes. If you want to record it, get a video in the slot and set it into record now while I explain how it works in case you haven't seen it before. What you do is record the data blast at normal speed. It'll look like this, all flying through. Bang, 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 bang.
So
bang.
good.
Then what you do is read
It is.
by using the frame
Yeah.
downs, you'll be able
I
to
do sort of admire it.
As James says, it was never that clear.
influence information. So stand by, here it comes. What we've included.
I mean, they,
Brilliant.
These you must
Brilliant.
have, the ones that are well
what they should have done was cut that bit out and played it slower.
Yeah.
There's loads of stuff. It's all there.
No, because this will take ages.
We'll see you next year. Enjoy the data blast.
This is a much cooler way of doing it, isn't it?
Yeah, this is Ridge.
As long as that wasn't the data blast, that was just another sample.
No,
No, that was the data
that-
blast. Right, okay.
That was,
See,
oh,
that
I thought
didn't feel
yeah.
very Christmassy either, did it?
No, none of these have been Christmassy.
that's good. Oh, look, email CompuServe.
That music as well.
100.302.107 at CompuServe.com.
That was the first internet service provider I ever used.
Really?
CompuServe.
Did you email 1030210.7?
I didn't know.
They needed Matt Murray, didn't they?
God, CITV. Classic.
So this
Okay,
is
I've not enjoyed
1995.
these.
95.
I've not enjoyed these.
Round sound though. This is,
I mean,
that
these are
intro
much worse
music.
than I remember them to be. They're much more boring, aren't they? There's you know like. Okay, Games Master has aged quite badly, I would say, but at least there's something there.
There's a
I
sense
think
of
that you
fun
can
with
kind of-
Games Master.
Yeah,
Yeah,
whereas
sense
this-
of fun, some structure.
Yeah.
yeah, someone told us just said, please email that email right now. I wonder if it'll bounce back.
Obviously, we've gone to a lot of
Get an instant response.
Wakes up a
What?
server in a desert somewhere, just like.
We've got baubles, we've
Damn rude.
Hello, do you sell jeans? Yeah. Do you sell red jeans? I'll look in the back.
Why is that? Why is there reindeer?
We've got all the usual
Was
stuff.
Violet Billing not in this series?
No, she was. She was just off on doing other things.
Oh yeah, there she is.
There you go. Look.
She was a
Still
roving
cool.
reporter.
She's back in Tokyo again.
Oh, yeah, there you
holiday
go.
again.
Still
It's
cool.
She fancied Christmas in Japan again.
James, what was the one she did after this where it was just like the white background? That was better.
Yeah, what? Oh, what was that? I don't remember the name. It was Oh, that's gonna bug me now.
some finished examples to get you going.
Thanks, Dave.
Funny cards like this
That's
one,
gonna be on my mind.
more serious ones like this. The best thing
That's
about
going to be one of yours, what?
is the chance to be original. This is the card I've nearly finished.
Don't Google it. Use your
Gamepad.
brain.
I googled it. It was Gamepad.
I like that one better.
This is Moonpig the game.
And what about Father Christmas? So we'll go to the
I don't know why, but it is doing weird things to my brain seeing a reindeer immediately next to a computer. I don't-
They said,
Can't handle
they
it.
said, look,
We watched the previous Christmas specials. They weren't Christmassy enough. We're just going to go
reindeer in.
just
reindeer.
The reindeer and the Father Christmas we've selected will return to my card. Okay, that's looking good. Now, what about a bit of tinsel? Well,
Is
you
it?
can draw freehand in this package as well. And I'll put some down here on the front of the
This
set.
is wild, isn't it?
This is great. That's real tinsel. Look at that.
Terrific. Now
Well, they were like, you know, he
can't
loved
celebrate
the audio thing he did in the first one. Let's do some more of that, but with visual this time.
You can't celebrate anymore, though, can you, eh? Can't celebrate anymore.
You can even
Don't
have
say you get
barcode.
arrested, don't you?
Yeah.
Say it. You know what I mean? Can't say it, but if I did.
40% fake barcode. So now all I have to do is click on print, and the computer does the rest.
Moonpig.com.
It's called Animated Greetings.
Moonpig.compuserve.com.
Moonpig.1123x121223.com.
Pretty much hidden pairs. In this one, you have to clean windows.
Oh, it's great, that.
I remember these games. God, they were awful. You get like about 8 CDs with them on, like when you bought a new PC.
Yeah.
His Christmas message. He first of all has to colour in the card.
Yeah, because it was all the like, look, you can do your homework on it stuff, wasn't it?
Dell used to do that. They used to do Dell Entertainment Pack. Like 8
It's not just
CDs
for
of
games.
shit games.
Do work on it. It's fine.
Merry Christmas, Sonia. I hope you like the card. It took me hours to make.
Just come into the screen. Ah.
Our main review this week is Extreme Games on the PlayStation. It's a racing bash 'em up along the same lines as
A racing bash 'em up.
choice of mountain
Don't
bikes.
see those anymore, do you?
Well, it's like California Games, kind of. But
The aim is to
now
get through
it's
gates to collect
3D
money
sprites.
and finish in first place using skill or underhand violence. But is Extreme Games on the right track?
Fine.
Here's Sahale.
Crap, didn't it? Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Kind of like sketching
Just slick graphics. It's
Road Rash.
Same reviewers as well, isn't it?
Overall, this is a really fast-moving game, and there's no glitches at all. It's not just straightforward racing, which is good. You have to pass through different
glitches
coloured
at
gates
all.
and negotiate.
Unlike
I
Cyberpunk.
think it's the same reviewers, except during the course of the show, they must have like gone from being literal children to getting their first mortgage and stuff like.
I'm the
but
director.
I haven't played games for 5 years now. I don't know why they asked me back again.
I haven't said that. 4 out of 5.
From the boys.
Difficult to get into.
Yeah.
But once you are in them, they offer you shortcuts to the end of the level so you can catch up valuable places. And also, there's extra gates for you to go through to get extra money and extra season points. You can forget about road rash and
Extra season pass points.
Yeah, with extra season points. Oh, bloody hell. What season are we on now?
I love the choice of racing equipment and that you can bash people.
What does Metacritic say about this game?
Road Rash clone with lots of detail, but it's just too slow.
And the scores for Extreme Games, both the boys and the girls agree. It's a road racing bike.
Oh, rubbish.
It sounded like loads of them hated it. But apparently it's a 4 out of 5.
But there was no glitches.
True.
Extreme
It's just too slow.
Why do they keep going back to dressing that tree?
Well, because you
Because
complained it
they
wasn't
heard me
Christmassy enough.
criticising the last 2 episodes and saying they weren't Christmassy enough. That's Tony
It's
Hawk's
the
Ride.
rifle.
Yeah.
Is in Tokyo finding out how Japanese gamers spend their day off. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, we get it. She lives there
Same
now.
as most people, I'd imagine.
We all
She
know
lives there on
That is
CITV's dime.
all the time.
Reindeer behind the video screen.
Today's a bank holiday. It's called Kinro Kansha Nohi, which means Labour Thanksgiving Day. Yes, it's a holiday to celebrate work. But I've come to
What?
Tokyo called Shibuya. And here, instead of celebrating work, they're going to celebrate video games.
That's what I'm talking about.
Tokyo's game players are serious beat-em-up fans.
Do you remember though, like when you were a kid, seeing stuff like this and being like, "Oh, I wish I lived in Japan where no one thought I was a nerd."
Yeah,
I'd be cool if I was over there.
Yeah, yeah. Look, they all dress up. I'd be so good at that.
King from Tekken.
There he is.
Yeah, that's King, alright.
Iori. I've met up with Seiko, who's promised to explain what's happening, and I think
The music's a lot, isn't it?
Seiko took one of the biggest arcades in Shibuya to try out Tokyo's top games. And it's a 3D beat 'em
What's it a minute?
Why?
Virtua Fighter.
She just said a line that absolutely slayed me.
Oh God, go on.
I think the name was Seiko, but she said, I met up with Seiko, who promised to explain what was happening. The whole time she had no fucking idea what was going on. She promised to explain what the fuck is going on.
Seiko took me to one of the B-Ori.
There we go.
I've met up with Seiko, who's promised to explain what's happening. And Seiko took me to one of the biggest arcades in Shibuya to try out...
It is very like, oh, Japan, eh?
Oh, dear.
Virtua Fighter 2 has been around for a while, and it's still popular.
Oh, that game.
Take a look at this. Tekken 2. Just
Yeah,
released
Tekken was the thing.
and already king of the
Nah,
Cosmos.
I was a Virtual Fighter boy.
Taken the crown from Virtua Fighter 2 with its repertoire of highly acrobatic special moves.
Us Virtua Fighter fans used to go, oh, you just bash the buttons, guys. So much more to Virtua Fighter.
Officially launched on this auspicious National Games Day is Fighting Vipers.
They're Fighting Vipers. It looked like, it reminded me of Fighters Megamix. And that two combined. Yeah.
That wasn't great either, was it? No. I don't remember.
Huge difference to the gameplay. The fences mean you don't get ring outs, but if you crash your opponent against the barriers a few times, you make a big dent in their...
This is like a proto Dead or Alive.
It does look similar, doesn't it?
Characters, including this lead guitarist, who adopts the Keith Richards approach to crowd control.
What's that mean?
He must have.
I mean, more importantly, what about all the 6-year-olds watching this program? yeah, Keith Richards, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you know him from the. No.
It's a photo booth that lets you choose a pretty frame.
We're just seeing a photo booth now. Brilliant.
Do you know, I've got some pictures like this that I did with Chen when we were first going out.
Really?
I have no idea where they came from, and I don't remember doing it either.
Does it sound like something you'd do?
Exactly. That's why I was surprised when I found them.
James Farley in Love is a completely different person.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to think about it.
Those early stages of infatuation, just doing stuff he doesn't even remember. He's like, oh my God.
You imagine going out with a guy and looking across the table and seeing this. Bring on. Some more. It's nice.
My Japanese is improving.
Sing the song.
That translates as charity.
Didn't need to.
The producer wanted me to bid for one of the posters.
What he did the talking.
2,000 yen, which is about £13.
Expensive, isn't it?
Wow. I'll get the next thing.
Yes, bid on that.
We've won that.
Yen for 2 green crocodiles.
Literally no one else wanted it.
Yeah,
Could have bid 10p.
Oh God. Let the English woman bid 50p for
Everyone
the
was like,
rubbish.
you fat, what? You can buy them round the corner for like...
Yeah, just nicked it from a shop.
Give them away.
Berlin, reporting for back.
Oh, there
How
she is.
did
That's
that?
real. It's
How
on
did
the
they
screen.
get up there? Wow.
Violet did accidentally end up bidding for Master Law from Tekken after all, and gave it to me as a Christmas present.
Look at you.
What did you get?
Oh, well, no, I'm better than that. I got this brilliant CD with
It's
all...
in a loft now.
That was a bit rude, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh no, better. I got a better one than you.
Yeah. She loves me more. Fuck you.
This is the most excellent fighter select.
Andy?
I mean, that's borderline offensive.
That's the most Alan Partridge thing I've ever seen.
Andy, you okay? Andy!
Mustachioed plumber Mario is returning to the SNES, but this time something is different. The Super Mario role-playing game, or RPG for short, places our hero in an isometric 3D world.
Wait, hold on. What's the guy's name again? Andy what?
Andy Crane.
I think he does heart or some radio station.
Does he?
I think. Hold on. I need to check something.
Transport Tycoon Deluxe is a revamped version of the classic
Do
Transport
you know, I really enjoyed this game. I thought it was brilliant.
trains, ships, and planes in a bid to become
Transport Tycoon Deluxe. It was
See,
fantastic.
as a child, there's just no
Although
way I
the
had
PC
the patience
version,
and stuff like that.
the PC version was good.
Royal and ancient sport of golf. actual
Oh, right, okay, now I got it.
features motion
What were you trying to work out?
I thought I'd met him. I'll tell you something afterwards.
That sounds ominous.
Turns out it was Mr. Robert De Niro.
onto the Mega Drive and SNES this week in Spot Goes to Hollywood.
Spot
is thrown into the backlot of a movie studio where he solves puzzles, collects red spots, and all the while avoids the movie world's greatest.
Oh, he was shite, wasn't he?
A sort of Terminator Spot. The game is also out on PlayStation and Saturn in early '96, but for now, here's Sally with the Mega Drive version.
Have they not called Spot on the Master System?
On the first one, it's been updated to make it more exciting, and the further you get into the game, the
Marble Madness.
house level, presumably based on Ghostbusters. The game's really.
I always thought the 2D one looked alright. The original one.
It's right. I remember it being hard, but.
From behind, you've got to face them, and it takes a lot of ammunition to kill them.
I was going to say, those enemies were getting absolutely pelted.
Indiana Jones level, which is very different from the other levels. You collect as many things as you can.
This is great, isn't it?
There are no bad guys to kill, which makes it a refreshing.
This does actually look pretty good.
Do
you think?
This is a cool
Yeah.
game.
It may have another viewpoint for platform. But apart from that, there's
The
nothing.
Spot games were terrible, though. I never liked them.
This is quite a good
There
game.
was only 2 of them, weren't there? Wasn't there just this one and the original one?
Did you hear what she said then? The first 5 minutes of this was quite good. And I thought, well, that would have been Sean's Game of the Year nomination.
It's alright, because they only play 5 minutes of each one of them anyway, don't I, James?
It's alright, he played 5 minutes of the demo as well. It's fine.
3 minutes of the demo, 5 minutes, total of 8 minutes.
In a 40-hour game.
Yeah.
That's Scotty.
No, it only came out last week.
After getting a few wins under my belt, I became a total addict. You've only got the
Total
basic
addict.
moves at first. More powerful punching combinations like these only become available as you win more.
Sorry, those boxes are called The Demon and Killer.
Access hidden characters like the box.
My favourite box is M-0978.
At CompuServe.com.
We need a snappy name for this one.
And taunt your opponent. After persevering with the first few fights, I really enjoyed it. It's the most realistic boxing
Did you ever play this, Matt?
No. So, International Victory Goal. Well, I wasn't part of the series.
It's a little slow. It's a superb alternative to your average beat 'em up.
And the scores for Victory Boxing.
Oh.
a heavyweight
They love
He
this
meant
because it's
that, didn't
3D.
3 from the go.
Ooh, shame.
TV presenters don't come more polished than the one you're looking at now. I didn't write that bit, but if TV bigwigs get
He did.
Yeah.
You just did it from behind the camera. Yeah, you did. You forced us to put that in there.
have taken over the film world, but it's one thing generating a Jurassic dinosaur, entirely another to create an accurate computer-generated human being. The most human-looking computer-generated character so far was probably the entirely inhuman T-1000 from the movie Terminator 2. Actor Robert Patrick had to suffer for his art. He had a grid felt tipped on his body and was then filmed from lots of different angles.
Okay.
The results were used to generate a 3D computer model of his body that could be animated at will. Film graphics like those require very expensive, very powerful supercomputers, but now there's a system available that lets you animate characters in real time.
Look at that face on him.
Ugh.
It's giving me nightmares.
Computer graphics. But then the animation is all done, as Sonia is finding out, with spots.
Oh, yes, indeedy. These are reflective spots.
It's a GoPro.
Selfie camera.
Eyes on my mouth. The movements are recorded into the computers. Now, we're going to need to bring the lights down so you can actually see the screen properly. Now, if you look in the screen, you can see the points, as I said,
Made no difference.
spots on my face.
Absolutely none, no.
So are they. So, for instance, that point there is my chin. My lips are here. These are my cheekbones. And those very uneven things up there are actually my eyebrows. So here's me as a mega...
As you can see.
And if you add the right tape with the voice that you want, the effect can be quite convincing.
I won't stop. Do the Cyberpunk joke again, Matt.
Yeah.
Stop that there, you controlling the whole universe is a bit...
I mean, to be fair, yeah, you wouldn't watch this and be like, oh yeah, one day Keanu Reeves will wear one of those and he'll be in a game.
Virtual Violet.
At number 10 in my personal chart, it's Rapid
Hello.
Reload on the PlayStation, an old-style 2D shooter.
I remember that. Rapid Reload. I've never heard of that.
Haha.
Was that a spiritual successor to Gunstar Heroes, or have I made that up?
Interactive obstacle course on the SNES.
That looks horrendous.
Yeah, it was.
For bikes and
That was a good game.
Full throttle on PC, CD.
Oh, Full Throttle.
It looks dull, and if you play it, you'll become dull. But Mario...
Back off!
Got him!
Picross is ace.
tennis rackets and your virtual picks and strum along to my number 6. It's Quest for Fame on PCCD.
See, I like Violet Berlin, but I've discovered that she likes mostly shite games.
She really shit.
Yes, mate.
Unirally was good though.
Yeah,
I
man.
remember this being amazing.
If you know of any other sideways scrolling stunt unicycle race games, just let me know. Those
I remember when I first learned to drive,
Lemmings
that was
went
awful.
3D.
and it was being
Lemmings
explained
3D,
to me that
the
the
worst
markings in the middle of the
Lemmings.
road sort of
Yeah, it
told
was
you what was
terrible.
coming up, and I was like, oh, like in Unirally, yeah.
the top 3.
Here we go.
Oh god.
The most fun I've ever had wandering around a bizarre land with an army of talking animals. Soleil on the Mega Drive.
Know that.
World at number 2.
Hello.
This is good.
Red alert.
CNC.
Perfect blend of
It's the original, I think, isn't it?
strategy, presentation, and destruction. And for the big number 1,
Here we go.
Yoshi's Island.
Yes, mate.
Yeah.
See, I've always said she knows what she's talking about.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. She's some solid choices there.
It's not even out yet. She made it a game of the year and it's not even out yet. Ahead of your time. There we go. Look at that bad wit.
Now, Christmas is traditionally a time of gathering around a glowing TV, joypad in hand, making merry with your favourite video games. So in
Wasn't allowed to.
with your electronic festivities, we've come up with a bad influence guide to the best places to get your Yuletide consoles.
If you're hoping for, or lucky enough to
The
be
product placement section.
Oh, look at the Sega Saturn games though, Matt.
287 quid. Toys R Us, who sell it for £287.99, £12 cheaper than anywhere else.
Oh.
£299 in most stores.
All's about Toys R Us.
Offer a special pack.
Oh, no game.
Victory Gold, Daytona
Game was around then.
Oh, of course they offer a special pack. Of course they do.
Buying the game separately.
I'm enjoying the two Robins in the corner. It's a good touch.
Which one's boutique? Oh, big fan.
Oh,
of that
mate.
store.
R.I.P.
Console if you trade in a Mega Drive or SNES with 10
That's not bad.
But remember, there's a lot of life left in the
James is going to do that this weekend.
I'm going to get
I'm
onto
gonna
Hot
take my
UK
Mega
deals
Drive
and
down there.
post this
100
shit.
quid off.
Argos, packaged with Super Metroid.
There you go, bargain.
Mario games for $94.99. Or if
Obsolete.
you're a Mario addict, Dixon sell it with all 5 of his classic platform adventures for $99.99.
Rather buy that than the Saturn.
Electronics boutique
Yep.
with the Mega Drive
Awesome, James.
games, including the classic
55 quid for a Mega Drive though.
$99. While games
Yeah, shit though, innit?
software for $50.
No.
Christmas console
Drive was
bargains.
like.
The Bad Influence Worldwide website. The address comes up at the end of the program.
Worldwide
Oh my
website.
god.
They really have made this way more Christmassy this year, haven't they?
Yeah, they've really
Sasha
tried.
Picture Girl, there it
Appreciate
is.
it.
Mist, Floorwork Night,
The competition
Bog.
question: how many moons
That was all the games that come out for it though, Matt. That's the problem. They're all right there.
left.
on the screen now? Congratulations, you're a Bad Influence.
Daryl West. Well done.
Should we see if Daryl West is on Twitter?
Can we get some of those t-shirts?
On his
They
bio
bag-
is like, well, I once won a Saturn on Bad Influence.
Yeah.
Review of the year. Join
Right.
us, we'll have celebrity game reviewers.
How do you spell Daryl West?
and even computer
There's going to be a lot of them.
It was D-A-R-R-E-L-L,
Checking eBay,
I think.
Y-double-L. West.
No, E-double-L.
E-double-L.
No data blast either now.
I was like, yeah, no data blast. What the fuck?
Also, look, they've
Okay, there's
they've
loads of
emailed
Daryl Wests. We got a
their
problem.
testers at badtv.demon.co.uk.
Demon internet.
Yeah, I
I had
suppose you
that
don't need
for
the
a
data
very
blast
brief
anymore.
period
Now
of time.
everyone's got the internet in 1992.
Washington, D.C.? No.
Well, you might move there. You don't know. Ask every one of them.
Right, okay, so the first one, Daryl West, is Washington, D.C. Publisher, so definitely not. Daryl West 2 spends too much time in theatres and opera houses. Definitely didn't win a Saturn. Bad Influence. Founding partner of
Okay, so anyone's
Insight-
curious. So all my YouTube recommendations have appeared, and it's a load of ADHD stuff and ASMR. Just so you know, in case it looks like I'm trying to ignore that, I'm not.
Why? Yeah, but what have you got inside Anfield? That's more worrying.
No, I think we've got different ones, James.
Oh, okay. I've got inside Anfield on mine.
James, that is worrying because that means you've been searching.
I'm not.
That's
logged
like
on
when
'cause
MPs
it's
go.
the TCGS account that's logged in here. That's not me.
That's like when MPs go, oh, well, you know, this website's disgusting. There's loads of porn ads. Actually.
Right.
Right,
Well, that was
what about
terrible.
Influence?
That was a terrible show.
It wasn't quite how I remembered it, I'll be honest.
What are the chat saying, Sean? Have they been enjoying it or?
Hard to. I mean, they've just been commenting as we go. I don't think anyone's really expressed any opinions as to the quality of the program.
It really wasn't very good, was it? I remember it being quite good.
Yeah. Ben noted that Matt's outed himself as a fake gamer again because he thought that the original Command and Conquer was actually Red Alert.
Yeah, I heard that.
I just said I didn't say the original one is Red Alert. I just said Red Alert.
Yeah, but it's a different game, Matt.
Well, I just saw the sign. I was like, Red Alert.
Oh yeah, that's Command and Conquer Sonic 2. I remember that.
Right. So I've nothing to say about that. I don't know about.
That's really. It's really disappointed me because I remember watching Bad Influence and thinking it was great.
Yeah.
And going back and watching it now, I'm like, there's nothing there, is there?
Yeah,
There's nothing there. When you go back and watch Games Master, at least you can come away with something.
Yeah.
With that, it was like this is just a random mess of things.
It's because
it was like an Argos catalogue with pages missing.
See, in theory, I preferred Bad Influence because I was not interested in the challenges and stuff on Games Master. I was more interested in like the news, reviews, and stuff like that. But it was really badly done on Bad Influence, so yeah, it wasn't really very interesting either. Shame.
I'm really sorry, everyone. We thought that was going to be great.
Well, no, it was good to watch, but it wasn't as good as shows I remember. And yeah, it just makes Games Master seem even better.
Yeah. And it wasn't really Christmassy, was it?
No. Well, the last one was fucking. They had a reindeer in the studio.
What do you want, Sean?
What else do you want?
I don't know.
I thought Berlin was in Japan.
Yeah, it's true. Do you think was she sent out there, or was she just there anyway?
I think that she got sent out there for free, like every
week.
That's why they just kept doing it.
Is Violet Berlin still alive?
I'm pretty sure she is. Yes.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
Oh, she's what that old? How old do you think the show was?
People die, David.
She's married to Gaz Top Jones of How To fame.
Are you like that? Are you like that with every person you've ever seen on television? I wonder if they're still alive.
That's a good question to ask, I think. But the answer is often no. Well, yeah.
Oh yeah, 2016 happened. Do you remember that?
God, yeah. All the celebrities just kept
they
dropping
all
like flies.
They all went.
2016 seemed like a bad year.
Oh yeah.
Halcyon days, mate.
That was one of the best years I've ever had in my life.
Right, how should we do this, Matt? Because are we gonna? So for the VOD, is this gonna cut now?
Yeah. Let's say our goodbyes, and then we'll everyone watching live, we'll keep going.
Short break.
I'm going to short break. Okay. So for those who are watching the VOD after the fact, this is going to end soon. But if you're watching live, give us a few minutes, and then you can watch us record the bonus show. That'd be nice. Probably.
Yeah,
So
we'll definitely nice.
I mean, I've got a Be Right Back screen, but I don't think it's got anything fun on it. But it'll have to do. So yeah, well, it should be a couple of minutes just for toilet, and yeah.
I need a fart.
Okay.
Yeah, we're back in a minute. Thank you for watching.
Cheers, everyone. Merry Christmas.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Okay.
Right, okay, cool.
we'll do the
1,
three,
2,
two,
1,
one
2,
stuff.
1, 2.
Tell me when to hit record. And I
Yeah,
will.
well, we will do. We'll do the usual.
So a little peek behind the curtain, guys. This is.
Okay, we're going to do our bonus show now. I don't know why we're doing this live. We thought it'd be a nice little treat for you. I hope you
Yeah,
enjoy
we
it.
wanted to get them both done in one night, so we thought.
It's a pretty exciting one as well, actually. We're going to be talking about The Office,
Yeah.
and I've got a little cheeky surprise for everyone. Well, not everyone. The
God.
guys know what it is, but
Okay.
no, it's that voice, that clip.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't
Sorry,
think
it's
anyone
just-
knows about it.
Whenever you
I don't know
mention
about it.
having a
That's what we're talking
surprise, Dave, I just assume it's something bad. I don't.
Yeah. The surprise is I'm leaving.
I've got a picture of James's dick.
Well. Okay, so should we just start recording?
Well,
the
what's
pod?
wrong with
I'm
that?
ready
Is
to
that
go.
wrong? Right, okay. Yes, I am ready to go. Right, so everyone hit record. 3, 2, 1, Matt. Okay, one sec. Let me bring up that so I can see your faces. Right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the December bonus show. We made it all the way through. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's currently,
jinx
we're
it.
recording on the 18th of December. But it would appear that we have made it through 2020.
It's too early to tell.
This is the last bonus show. Who knows? But welcome. We hope you're doing all right, and we hope you're going to have some sort of Christmas, even if that is without seeing anyone. And
Well, no, people might sue some people because the rules
sue
are
them.
that people can see them. It's like
yeah, no, I mean we're spending Christmas with Joe's mum, and that'd be nice actually. I'm quite looking forward to it. I think I said this on the last show, but I'm quite looking forward to a more quiet, queer Christmas, getting drunk and not having to worry about upsetting more than my immediate family. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm looking forward to it. You're shaping up. I mean, James, you look as festive as ever.
Yeah, I'm really, really jazzed for Christmas. Like really,
Jazzed?
You've got
I'm
the
really,
tinsel
really
there.
excited. Yeah, there is some tinsel over there.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yes.
You see,
I didn't do it,
my,
but it's still there.
My camera points at the one corner of the living room that has had absolutely no Christmas stuff in it, but there's a tree and I've got lights on the monitor and stuff. It's great.
Can I ask you a question? More importantly, what do you think Steve Charlton's doing this Christmas? How do you think
God.
he's?
Oh, I
He's
feel a bit
He's not
sad
gonna-
actually.
Is he
I
in a
think-
support? No, I think his kids have chosen to bubble with the mum.
Yeah, and the
Oh,
mum's
no,
definitely
let's
there,
not make it that depressing.
the mum's already bubbled with 2 other households.
Yeah, that's definitely what's happened, and he's
Oh,
very
that's too
sad.
sad.
I promise you, Steve, if it was 4, you'd be invited, but it was 3, and we're very strict with this.
Too
I
sad.
had to make a decision. And it was just quick. And yes.
That's all right. I'll watch Soul on my own.
Yeah, we'll do it on FaceTime. Do it on FaceTime. I don't know. Well, the reception is rubbish around here. We can't do it on FaceTime.
Internet goes down a lot. Yeah.
Speaking of our boy Steve Charlton, he appeared on Radio X this month because I was sitting in my car and I think it was one of those, every now and then you get a moment and it's brilliant where you've got a reason to just wait in your car for a bit. So you just put the radio on and you savor those moments.
Yeah.
Well, I was listening to the Ed Gamble show on Radio X, and they would talk about DIY mishaps. Oh, what mishaps have you had? Oh, I painted it the wrong color. Oh, you painted it the wrong color. So I thought Steve should get involved. So here's my message to the Ed Gamble show on Radio X. Hold on.
I don't want you to think that we're claiming Fallout Boy's back catalogue. I'd love to have written songs that Fallout Boy wrote. Goodness me, I would have loved to have written that, mainly for financial reasons.
Can I just say, I'll stop there. Did you notice that is blatantly, that's the knock-on effect of The Office?
That is so Brent. Yeah.
That's so Brent. For financial reasons.
Yeah, no reasons.
Here we go.
We are still chatting to you about your DIY disasters because Matthew's a little pig, and it turns out you're all little pigs too. We've got this tweet in from Steve Charlton. There's no explanation surrounding this. It's simply the description of what happened. I once stapled my son to the skirting board.
What needs to be said?
There's no, I mean, is he okay?
Yeah, I mean, you hope it was sort of a bit of his clothing,
and you hope it was an accident.
Yeah, or maybe he just, because sometimes people do sort of quite wacky changing room style stuff to make a feature of it. Like sure. Looks a little bit bare.
Yeah,
staple a child to it.
Staple a child to it.
Yeah.
Right, I'll stop it there because they go on a bit, right? But like, have you noticed that whenever we contact a show or do anything with Steve Charlton, it's never just read the message out and move on, is it? It's never that. They always sit and discuss Steve Charlton for a little bit. It's unbelievable.
He's an entrancing character. He's got layers.
I think I might
Yeah.
start tweeting Radio X like a lot now.
Make him a regular character.
Yeah, just see if anyone contacts Radio X and go like, who's Steve Charlton? With all this just like weird shit, and see how far we can take it. So maybe there'll be more clips like that.
What I want is Steve Charlton to win a competition, and then we have to find someone that we think is Steve Charlton to go in to collect.
Steve Charlton picking up the phone and going, "Capital, give me the money."
See, if he has to actually make an appearance, suddenly the clever idea of using a fake AI-generated face doesn't seem so clever anymore, does it?
But we're getting into deep fakes now. We can get focus on it. I might have to start tweeting because did you ever call radio stations or text them or stuff when you were younger?
I used to text. Yeah, I used to text like on Radio 6 Music. Sean Keaveney a lot when he was on XFM actually in the morning. And,
did they read them out?
Yeah, because it was like he did this competition where I think it's like a pun or something, and I think you might have had to choose songs anyway that relate to a story. Yeah, and Sean Keaveney is brilliant. I think he's on 6 Music now or whatever. But yeah, Sean Keaveney is amazing.
When you text and then you'd wait, and then when the next links start, your heart starts going, and you're just going, are they going to remix? Still happens. Like, I remember phoning radio stations and just feeling sick as you were waiting. Because what you do, you ring up a radio station, you talk to the producer. What do you want to talk about? Oh, I want to talk about this. I'll call you back. Then you hang up. Then your phone goes and you're like, oh my God. And you pick it up and you're straight, like you can hear the show down the phone. And you're sitting there sweating, just going, oh my God, I feel sick. And then all of a sudden the radio, like the presenter who you've been listening to for years or whatever, suddenly goes, and we've got David on line 3. David, what have you got to say? And you're like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I do because I used to ring Alex Zane up when he was on XFM. He did the morning show, and it was so scary. And what was really crazy is that the producer before you spoke to Alex Zane was Pete Donaldson from Preamble. It's just really weird. Yeah, he was known as Cheeky Pete back then. But I used to get the same thing as well. Do you remember the box, the music channel?
Yeah.
You could text that in, and it would come up at the bottom.
Yeah.
It is weird though, because you remember when you were on Play Radio, like when you were on there, like right at the beginning, and like I was obviously listening to that, and like I remember calling into that and being nervous, and then just thinking, why am I nervous? I'm calling you. Like there's absolutely no reason for me to be nervous.
I don't think I've ever been so nervous when Ian Lee come into the studio though, when we were doing Joypod in there. Like and he knew, like he could tell, and it was just horrendous. I hated it. And then I went, because what it was, there were some offices next to the radio studio. They had a big window, and you could see who was presenting. And I went after the show. It was his show, so we sort of handed over to him. He came in, and I sat there for 20 minutes just watching him do his show. And then I thought, this is weird, man. I should not be here. So I left, but I didn't want to. I did not want to leave, but just sat there and watched him, like, because fucking radio hero, man. Watching him do his stuff was unbelievable.
I remember beginning to play radio when John Davison was on and being nervous about whatever I was asking him on the phone.
John Davison was great, man. Like, yeah, he was really cool. That was the one where Michael just let me down and didn't show up to the show. So it was just me and John Davison doing a podcast. We got some really good guests on there because we had John Davison, we had Kieran Gillen, we had Garnet Lee. Garnet Lee was on for 2 hours. And then we had Sean Elliott lined up. Was it Sean Elliott?
It was, yeah.
He was lined up the week that the Play Radio went bust. And I was absolutely gutted.
Yeah.
And then I haven't mentioned this, but I found videotape footage of me, Matt, and Capone Adam in the Play Radio studio, and I've been trying everything to get, because on this old DV videotape, and I've been trying everything to get it onto YouTube, but I've not been able to do it yet. But I will get that sorted. And if you're listening and thinking I can do that, send me the DVD. You're not doing that. There's stuff that needs cut out of that.
Yeah, this is the appearance Play Radio that Dave said that didn't ever happen, and
That's
then
right.
video footage appeared. Oh yeah, okay, so maybe you were there.
Yeah, but I already held my hands up and said I was wrong there, Matt. I don't need to keep doing
just wish you doing it. I wish doing it.
Graceful, is it? Not very graceful. The flaps do come off of the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, but where are Sony's?
Oh, Matt, have you tried taking them off yet?
No, I was just thinking that at the exact second. No.
You got to give that a go, James.
Should I do it now? No, I'm not doing it now.
Yeah, do it live on air.
I'm not doing it now. Yeah, James, are you taking your flaps off? Yeah.
I considered it, and I actually started pulling at them at one point, but then I let go before it went too far.
Yeah, you should. It's worth doing. That's a good life lesson.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
I might be doing this a little bit premature, but I'm very excited. The Sean has done his homework.
Yeah, mate.
And he has now
Has he, though?
every episode of the UK office. No, he has.
Yep.
Because, sorry, I've got to be honest.
You've already
He's
spoken
been-
to him about it.
No. He's just been messaging me throughout where he's up to, basically. Not whether he's been enjoying it or not, whether he's found it funny, but he has sent me the odd quote. So I'm assuming he enjoyed it. So Sean, you finally watched The Office.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear what you think. I want to hear what you think of the show. What was funny? What if you didn't like anything? I also want to hear if it was what you expected. And also, we all know that you don't like Ricky Gervais, but has not the opinion of him changed, but were you surprised by The Office in any way? I suppose, yeah. Okay, go.
So
It's
the
you.
first thing that struck me was that I know it wasn't like the first like cringe comedy show, but I'd forgotten like quite how hard it goes in on that stuff. Like some of it is fucking excruciating to watch.
Yeah.
And that's the point. Like it's not a criticism. It's
so funny you should say that, Sean, because like I've watched this show. God, each episode, God knows how many times I've watched them, right?
Yeah.
But I remember first watching it and just going, "This is too much cringe. This is too much." And I remember everyone talking about it, and the first thing they would say was how excruciating it is to watch. But because I've watched them so many times, that cringe just goes. Like, it goes.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing.
Focused on every little mannerism of Brett, and that overtakes the cringe.
I think that's sorry, James, go on.
I was going to say, because that's the thing that I never really engaged with that in a sense, because I love that. Like, I love situations like that. I absolutely love it. Like, when that happens, when stuff like that happen at work and stuff, I'm the person who sits there thinking, I'm loving this. This is amazing. This is fantastic to watch. So I never felt uncomfortable watching this, because I always just thought, this is great. Like, I'm really enjoying this. Just like watching just how uncomfortable this is. Like, the more uncomfortable it can get, the better. It's brilliant. I love it.
What was the worst for you in terms of cringe?
Trying to think. It's almost. It's like some of the casual ones that are quite throwaway, or sometimes so at the very end, where Brent's waiting for his blind date, and that woman turns up, and he's just like, "Sorry, I was waiting for a blind date. I thought you were it." And it's like, fuck! Oh my god!
Yeah, he's like, oh, thank God, I thought you were.
See, also though, I thought that was an amazing moment because that to me, I know it's this is probably way off, but when I saw that happen, I just thought that was the moment he kind of realised that he'd gone too far, like at that point. Whereas before that, he doesn't. I don't know. I still felt that he'd suddenly realised that
When
was
I
a bit much.
rewatched it again, I remember thinking, like, when I first watched the scene where he tells Chris Finch to fuck off.
Oh,
yeah,
which is still one of my favourite moments. That was amazing at the time.
Yes, Brent. Yes, Brent. Yes. But then when I watched it more recently, I was like, no, why am I rooting for him? Like, I thought they softened the character a little bit in the Christmas ones. They absolutely do not. They just don't.
But that moment where we finally has the guts or the strength or whatever it is to tell Finch to fuck off after them ribbing him constantly. I was like, come on, yes.
Because I think that really sort of, if you hadn't somehow by that point hadn't picked up on the fact that the whole thing with Brent is that he is essentially like a scared little boy who just is just trying to get through the day. That cements it, and it's like, and it's not only cements it, but it shows some growth as well.
Yeah, definitely. Come on.
And it's a good moment.
The Christmas special was just full of that sort of stuff. It's amazing.
Yeah, because I like the will they, won't they with Dawn and Tim. This is just a me thing. I generally can't be arsed with like romantic drama with like grown adults because I'm just like, guys, just tell each other what's going on and then just deal with it. Like, this whole this sort of high school, like, oh, but he's got feelings for her, but she's with someone. I don't really get that. However, when they kissed at the end, I was in bits.
Oh, mate,
I was like, fuck
for me,
yes,
it's
thank God.
the bit when she sees the sketch and never give up.
No, I mean, for me, it's the bit when she walks back into the party. And I still get a lump in my throat watching that. First time, definitely. And like Yazoo Only You, I think, is playing. When she was back in, it's like, fuck, that is such a moment. I was like,
And the fact like nothing needs to be said because they both.
Nothing needs to be said. All you need to see is her walking in. You know what's happening.
I'll tell you what, there's another weird bit with that as well when when they do the kiss and then Gareth's reaction is just like that's weird.
How she's engaged.
But if you look at Brent, if you look at Ricky Gervais at that moment, it looks like he was like he broke character. It looked like for a second then, and he was that was brilliant. Like the way that was done, he looked really happy with himself. He's like, we've nailed that. It was great.
Go on, yeah. Any more comments on the comedy?
Like the whole thing with Brent is fascinating, isn't it? Because again, the particularly the cringe stuff, but just how he is in general. You're watching it like, how the fuck is this guy real? How is he in a position of power? Everyone thinks he's an arsehole. He can't do his job. But then you're like, no, because everyone's worked for him or someone like him.
Yeah, 100%.
He's such a brilliant observation and recreation of that shitty boss that everyone has had at some point in some form or another. So on the one hand, you're like, oh, this is totally unbelievable. But then, no, it isn't. It makes total sense because there are people like him everywhere.
Well, this is what's interesting, actually, because that was a sticking point for the American Office. So I listened to a podcast by the cast of the American Office talking about, changes they made and all that sort of stuff. And one of the changes they made was it was hard for Americans to believe that someone like Brent or Michael Scott would ever be in charge of a company. But so they put a whole half an episode based on how good Michael Scott was on his job. Now, I'm not slagging off the American Office. I think it's fantastic. I do. I really did think it was great up until Michael Scott left. But that stuff just was not needed in this. You know what I mean? It was like it didn't need to. The other thing they did was they realised about halfway through series 2 that they had to leave it on an uplifting note.
Yeah.
And now you watch every ending to every episode of the UK Office, bar the Christmas special, it always ends on a horrible moment. Like Tim's birthday party, he ends up with no shoes, walking around to the back of the thing, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, because after episode 6 of series 2, at that point, did you know that the Christmas special was coming, or was that supposed to be the end at one point?
No, I don't think it was supposed. We didn't know it was coming. I don't. Yeah. I mean, it was a long time ago, so I don't remember.
I don't think so.
I don't think we knew. No.
And at that point, I was like, okay, end it there. You know, we don't need it anymore. And when I said Christmas special, I was like, just end on. I always believe with any of these shows, end on a high. You don't drag it out. But then when I did it, I think
Could you imagine if they did that? We wouldn't have had Brent.
Exactly.
On stage,
it's the perfect ending.
As Austin Powers.
Oh fuck!
And also the ending of that,
if anyone is, yeah.
The ending of series 2 is like, I know it is a tiny bit ambiguous as well. Like you don't really know like if he's got away with it. Like at the end of that, when he's like begging for it, and you don't know whether because they.
But Tim's been turned down and stuff, and it's not a happy ending at all.
No, it's not. No, it's, Dawn moves to America.
Yeah.
Did
the Christmas special? So it cuts them in America, and she's got the baby.
Yeah.
Did I miss them pointing out that it's not hers?
No, they do.
They do.
Say,
right. Okay. Yeah.
Because I was looking after the kid.
You're totally supposed to think it's theirs.
Right. Yeah.
And she goes, "Oh, I'm babysitting for my."
Right. Yeah. All right. I must have missed that. So then when they're at the airport, I was like, "Where's the fucking kid gone? What's going on?"
That bit was like super manipulative when you see it. It's just like it's
set up for that big time. So okay, did anything surprise you about it? Again, like you knew Gervais before you knew, because we didn't know Gervais before we knew. Well, we watched The Office. Was anything that surprised you about it based on what you thought of Gervais before?
So like Gervais has this whole sort of like he's not anti-PC, right? But he sort of makes out as if. I should be allowed to say whatever I want, etc., etc. Whereas the character of Brent, and I suppose the show in general, feels like it's like obviously they do and say a lot of things that you shouldn't, but in a way that you could only write if you knew those things weren't on.
Yeah, well, that's it, and that's what I was saying. So, what really surprised me when I rewatched it recently was how much racial humour was in the second series, right? But I said that there were scenes in there just explaining why that is not right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's usually done by his two bosses or whatever. That's the other thing I wanted to ask you about. So the dance, obviously, you've seen that a million times before, right?
Yeah.
The dance is like, it's like Del Boy falling through the bar.
Yeah, it's one of those clips that, yeah.
But it's nothing compared to it being in context. Like,
absolutely.
There's no way you knew that he was actually doing it because his boss did a better job than everyone liked it just before. That makes it so worse. So bad.
And just the collection at the end. And it's just like, the collection's for both, isn't it? We've both...
So it sounds like you actually enjoyed it then, Sean.
I did, yeah. It's, for some reason, Series 2 towards the end felt like a bit more of a slog at points. Or not slog, but just... a bit more painful, and the jokes were sort of fewer and far between. But the ones that were the fucking when he gets told he's being made redundant and he stands up and he's got the fucking emu costume.
Yeah. Oh god.
Fuck me.
See, that was the thing, because Chen and I watched this back.
Check. Just peck it. And then when the photographer goes. I actually don't think I could use these.
Lighting's no good.
I think it's Angelo Epifemiu. Angelos Epifemiu, I think.
Oh, was it?
Plays the photographer there. I can't remember. Probably not, actually. I might be off then. But sorry, James.
Yeah, see, Chen and I watched it back as well, like over the last couple of weeks, and she doesn't like Ricky Gervais at all. Mostly because he frequently makes jokes about Chinese people, like all the time, and she doesn't appreciate that at all. Like she just thinks, she just doesn't. She just doesn't like it.
Fair enough, really.
She gets upset with it, But then and so she was resistant to watching it again. But then we did, and she ended up like really loving it and everything. But I really felt like, watching the second series back, the second series feels much more like drama as opposed to like comedy. The first series
downfall, isn't it?
Yeah,
and
the first series is absolutely perfect in terms of comedy. Like it's just every episode is banging comedy. It's so good. But yeah, the second series is his downfall in it, and it's it's a lot more drama. I think they sort of get into that.
When he does the motivational speeches, which I suppose leads me on to my next question then, Sean.
How many of the quotes did you recognise from the computer game show?
Do you know, not loads. Like I'm sure now that I've seen it, going forwards, I'll probably spot them. Like I was saying to Dave, so the Edward Nigma emails we were getting, they were like, you'll never get another Riddler like me, someone who's basically a chilled out puzzler. Which at the time I thought, that's a weird bit of phrasing, but he's just being funny, isn't he? No, that's a David Brent quote. So there's probably loads more that I've not spotted.
Should we say our favourite ones that we always have on the show, Matt? And then tell them what episode they're from. So from what made me think of that is, the motivational speaker one.
Yeah.
Where he's laying down on the table, and then the guy with the camera goes, "Maybe if you just sit down."
Yeah.
We say that all the time on the show.
I've never noticed that.
Maybe you should sit down. The boots. When they says, "Oh, there's quite a hill on them," and
you can still find them.
Giorgini, expensive yours.
Matt said that was one of the ones we were doing a talks over, and you turned around and said, "Oh, I think I've still got." No, you said, "Oh yeah, I was wearing a Pikachu onesie," and Matt went, "You can still find them," and you went, "No, yeah, I've still got it upstairs." I went, "That's an office quote, Sean."
Yeah, Sean. I was once in the cinema, and I was at university wearing my, at the time, ill-fitting leather jacket, and there was two guys behind me and my mate watching a film, and they were like, "Sergio Giorgini." And I wanted to say, "Oh, that's brilliant," but also I was wearing the leather jacket. So,
well, there was one of the things that we did say when Sean was texting me, which I cannot believe he didn't recognise that we say on the show. We say a lot is willy nilly.
Yeah, you never.
I will have a tunnel banded around this office. Willy nilly. I can't believe it.
Sean, what do you think about the Neil eating the Scotch egg? The Scotch egg bit is like,
fuck,
boring, isn't it? Yeah, wasting life. Watching.
Not for me. I like it.
I mean, he's on. But I was saying to Dave, has Capone Adam based his mannerisms on Keith?
Is that... No, which one came first? The behind the scenes stuff is really good for like that as well.
Really?
Like the amount of times they filmed it and like different, because changing the lines slightly, or the way like the Scotch egg comes up.
Timber.
I was going to say, you can tell how, like, obviously because it's written and directed by Gervais and Merchant, and you can tell that it's them as a team doing both, because so many of the jokes revolve around the way it's shot. The fucking, again, I told Dave about this, the one where they've all been to the club and Gareth gets off with a woman, turns out she's married, and then you see her getting on the bike with her husband, and you're like, oh, okay, so they're going without him. And then just different shot, and you just straight in front of the camera. And it's like, obviously it's entirely played for, but you're looking at it thinking, like, they can't have known how funny that was going to be. Even when they had the idea, like, it's fucking perfect. And again, it's a joke you can't write down. It's a joke you can't explain. It's just once you see it, it's fucking amazing. Really good.
Yeah,
Stephen Merchant's great in it as well. Like when he turns up as the odd monster.
And in the cleaner's actually Stephen Merchant's dad. You know
Really?
the cleaner who like stares at the camera.
One stares at the camera. Yeah.
Stephen Merchant's dad.
That's another one. Nicknames are just bad names. We say that all the time.
I've never clocked on him.
Nathan, it's a good name. It's a strong name. Like that, we've said that a lot.
Is it?
Don't who else has seen this filth? Come on, you've seen this filth. That's another one we say a lot.
I say that a lot around the house. Actually, it's quite good. You always say, see this film.
Sean, was there anything you saw that it felt like, oh, you can't really say that, or it's like it just feels a bit, that's very 2001? Or
do you know, it's weird because
in some aspects.
Yeah, because all the stuff that Brent says, it's coming from a place of like, he is a fucking wanker and they know it. Whereas Tim and Dawn making Gareth say, homoerotic stuff.
They find your camp.
Yeah, see, that almost comes across worse because obviously Tim's the good guy, right? He's the
every man.
Yeah.
So, but then Gareth's like, the joke is primarily that Gareth is oblivious right?
Yeah,
So it
yeah.
doesn't come across as, you know, as offensive as it could. But yeah, I mean, Gareth, fucking hell. What a performance.
It's funny when when we rewatched this, I was sending Dave messages about this, and Gareth was the person where I was like, there is so many things that he has said and does in this that he'd be fired by now. Like nowadays, there's absolutely no way.
Yeah.
I'm just watching.
Yeah, I've said that before on the show.
Yeah.
When he was talking to that, the girl that comes from Swindon, and like just the things that he says to her, and you're just thinking that's unbelievable. Yeah, there's no way that anyone would say that.
And then like investigation in progress.
I'll text Dave with just Gareth Keenan investigates.
Gareth Keenan investigates. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. When we were talking about this last week, I said that I felt like I'd just joined at the end of that era of office life, and it was very much like that. There was women and blokes flirting across the office non-stop, 24/7. There was pranks going on. There was, all that stuff.
Big Billy Bass on the wall.
I've got to say, I don't look back on it fondly.
Definitely not. It was the same for me.
Felt like an extension of school. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean, it's just like you had the popular ones and then the ones that no one liked. And that, I mean, that might still go on in certain offices. It certainly doesn't go on in the offices that I've been at since. But,
Dave, that's because you're not one of the popular ones.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Excluded.
I never was those.
I got one of the cool ones in this office.
And this is it, isn't it? Like, it's sometimes it's
cost.
Sometimes it's funny, and sometimes it's excruciating. But overall, the show has like absolute like disdain for that environment and that sort of
100%.
And because this is where it came from, right? Wasn't it? Gervais worked in an office like that for God knows how long, and it nearly destroyed him, and then sort of.
Yeah, and the fact that Tim just doesn't want to be there, and all the drinking culture, even that, he's just got no time for.
Yeah.
Tickle him. That's the real quiz. That's another.
Oh God, yeah.
What's it? And that's Crufts.
That's Crufts.
Yeah. I love the bit in there. It's like, are these all about this? I know I've got one about the Panama Canal in a minute. What canal? Or
the other line I like that I don't know if you can use now, but when he's talking about Dawn French and Lenny Henry having a fight.
Oh, I don't remember
that. when he goes, oh, you do it yourself.
Sorry,
talk about it later. Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm glad you enjoyed it because it is literally, it's probably my favourite comedy of all time. Like it's up there. It's either that or Alan Partridge.
Yeah.
The what's it one? The I'm Alan Partridge, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the first.
Series, it's similar appeal.
Yes. Yeah. Totally.
The second series of that is amazing though as well. After repeated watchings.
Second series is good, but I think the first series is better when he's just living in that hotel. Got your big plate, Alan. Yeah, it's just And what's great is like if you did watch it a couple more times or whatever, you will get into that. Like you'll meet someone that quotes The Office, and you're like, but you want to cling onto them and bite them. You want to just take them to the like. I'll send you some stuff from this Eric Hitchmo group because there's on there that
Fuck me, the Eric Hitchmo bit. Jesus Christ.
Who's been to the Coventry concert? Okay, then who's this?
Yeah.
We've said that as well, and you wouldn't get away with that in the workplace. We've said that a lot on the show too. But welcome to the crew, Sean.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a shame that we're going to miss this. I can't believe it took about 3.5 years before someone emailed in about it, right? And that's what sort of drove this idea.
It literally only came up about 6 months ago or something, didn't it?
Yeah. Someone emailed in and said,
and I genuinely wouldn't have known.
That they just quote The Office throughout the whole show.
Well, no, it's like I've said, it's just like knowing that like you guys have been friends longer. It's like, it's just like in jokes they have. Because obviously there's nothing worse than being like what was that? What was that? Go on, tell me the story. Go on.
The background behind that, and it would literally just be The Office. Sean.
What's the story behind you children entertainers?
The other bit that I have to stop and rewind every time I see it is when they're playing darts in the staff room, and Brent comes out of nowhere and goes, "Love a bit of bully." I love a bit of bully. He comes in and he throws them and it knocks like a lamp over. Shit flights on those, and shit flights.
There was the other line that got me for some reason. He's like, would you rather be like a funny boss or I can't remember, or like a productive boss or whatever? And he's like, and I always say, I don't think those two are mutually exclusive.
What about people say live fast, die young. Not me. Say live fast, die old.
Well, because it's just live fast, live too bloody fast, if anything.
That's the bit. That's the bit. Live fast, sure. Live too bloody fast sometimes.
I'm just going to file that in the waste paper basket. Like on top.
Oh, that's the other one. So when he's mucking about in his office and he picks up the phone and he goes to chuck it out the window.
Oh yeah,
and he drops it.
Yeah.
He says a line that probably the most quoted line on the show is, "That is fine, that one." he drops the thing and he goes, "Oh, that is fine." He goes, "That is fine, that one." Say that non-stop. That's the light.
Man's game. It's a man's game.
Well, keep an ear out. I'll probably still miss loads of them, and you'll be saying it and being like, "Oh."
Cannot wait for you to drop your first legitimate reference on the.
I'll be too nervous. I'll start stuttering like that.
At some point, Sean's going to go, "What was that shit? What was that shit? What was your shit?"
Sean's just going to drop the wrong one by accident. He's going to think, "Oh, here comes an Office quote. I don't believe it."
Exactly.
Sean just falls through the bar somewhere.
Cool. All right. That's enough Office chat, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
What's going on with homework now? I assume you haven't even thought about it since.
Well, I've got one that I want you all to do, but I don't know if it's fair for me to suggest something that I really like and none of you. Well, Dave's seen one episode of it and didn't like it, so we're off to a flyer.
Let's hear a suggestion, and we've got Christmas to whatever it is.
So for about the last, when did I first see it? 18 months. I've been screaming at basically
I know what you're saying.
Everyone I know to watch Joe Pera Talks With You, because I think it's one of the best shows ever made. And usually you show it to people and they're like, I didn't really get it, or they're just like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck have you made me watch? I realise I'm not really selling it. It is a comedy. It's an Adult Swim show. It's live action, and it's like most Adult Swim stuff, like Rick and Morty and Aqua Hunger Force and shit. It's all quite sort of in your face, over the top, like Tim and Eric, stuff like that. And this is just the polar fucking opposite of that. It's a comedy that like people watch to relax, right? And it's
ASMR comedy.
And it's like, so Joe Pera he's a comedian in real life, but in the show he's a choir teacher who talks really softly and slowly. He looks like, I think he's only about 28, but he's got the mannerisms of like a 70-year-old, which is immediately you're just like, what is this real? Like, what is he acting? Is this just what he's like? Like, it's just bizarre. Like, the first episode is him telling you about rocks, right? His favourite rocks. And it's just bizarre. And it's just so Dave watched an episode that I recommended because there's an episode about pumpkins, right? And Halloween and stuff.
Right. You said it explained Halloween to me, right? Or it got you in.
It's an aspect of Halloween that because I didn't really like Halloween, right? But it's one of the few shows that's like, actually, this is something I enjoy watching every Halloween. But it's I don't know if maybe it was a mistake saying, just watch this one. I absolutely love it because it's such an odd show that I think it takes a while to sort of tune into it. Like, I knew I liked it immediately just because of how odd it was. But it takes a few episodes for you to stop questioning it and being like, what is happening? Why is this? and only because it's so slow and like dull in a lot of ways. So I'm really selling it, I know, but
Okay, so we're not.
So there's
we're not
two
doing
series
that.
and a Christmas special.
We're not watching that. So what should we? Well, I mean, I think you've explained it enough for us to. We're gonna have to do that for the next episode, aren't we?
So Joe Perra talks with you. So it's on all four or 4OD, whatever it's called this week.
Oh, 4.
And I think the first series there's like 10 episodes, but they're like 10 minutes each. If possible, I would recommend watching it on your own, because if you've got someone else in the room, again, like picking at it, being like, "What is this?" It will just sort of throw you out of it. But I mean, yeah, see what you can do.
Cool.
I absolutely love it.
Two series and a Christmas special. That's all it needs. That's all any show needs, isn't it?
Episodes like 10 minutes long as well, aren't they? So it's not going to be a heavy watch. But okay,
How many
we'll watch
series is
that.
Well, there's two series. We'll just do the first one. He's signing you up for like the whole lot.
We'll see how far we can get. Right. Yeah. Before we wrap up for the year, I was thinking today, we got to talk about Cyberpunk, haven't we?
Oh, do we?
Yeah. I mean, we're not going to be back until, when are we back, Matt?
I don't know, because normally, obviously, we leave it because one of us is often away, but we can come back earlier now. We can come back earlier.
What, record on the 4th?
What, you want to record on the 4th?
Well, rather than waiting until mid-Jan. Yeah, we'll be back early Jan. I don't know when. We'll be back in Jan.
Okay, all right. Well, if we record on the 4th and then come out on the 6th, I'll be up with that. But that's a long time in the world of Cyberpunk. So should we just? So what's the deal, right? Because we need to talk about what James did. We need to talk about what James did, right?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, so let me explain what happened. James and I use GameShare on Xbox. And the reason why he was going to get a Series X initially was because it was going to be our main consoles, because we pay half price for games, essentially. Or I buy a game and he gets it, he buys one, I get it, right? And then he switched and said, "No, I'm getting an S." And I was like, oh, okay, all right. So are you just going to be getting games on the PlayStation and just using the games that I buy? But that's fine. That's fine. It's part of the whatever. And then I said, "Look, James, you bought Assassin's Creed. I'm buying Cyberpunk, right? Okay, fine, great.
I'll buy the game of the year."
So I downloaded Cyberpunk.
Not the way it went, but go on.
What's not the way it went? Go on.
You'd already bought Cyberpunk, and then
that's right. Yeah.
Then I bought Assassin's Creed later. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Well, anyway, I bought Cyberpunk, loaded it. I said, James, let you know it's available now. You can just download it and you can play it now. And then James sent me an image. I can talk about this, right? You don't really care.
No, it's fine.
I'm looking. I can see you, right?
Yeah, I know.
Okay. James sent me an image of Cyberpunk on the PlayStation 5 and said, "Oh, you'll never guess what just happened. Jen bought me this for my PlayStation." And immediately I thought, no, she didn't. No, she didn't. There's no way she just bought you Cyberpunk.
Why would she do that?
So I replied, "That's bullshit, isn't it, James?" And you replied, "Yep."
I thought I'd just immediately come clean. There was no point in pursuing it any further.
Two things here. Two answers out of you. The first being, why, when you got it for free on the S anyway? And the second one, why lie?
Okay, so the first thing, why when I had it on the S? Well, I was concerned that the one that was going to be on the S was going to be rubbish, and also because of
rubbish.
Well, yeah, exactly. I didn't know how that was going to. So I thought I'd rather play it. I really wanted to play it on PS5 anyway, because I just thought it'll probably be. It's a stronger console.
Yeah, I mean, it's a proper 4K machine.
So there you go. Yeah, so that was the thing.
So yeah, it makes sense.
Why lie? Because I didn't want to admit. So the lying was I didn't want to admit that I'd spent extra money when I didn't have to, technically, and I was embarrassed about that. That's what it was. That's absolutely. I don't know. I was just embarrassed about it. It's just.
I mean, you weren't embarrassed about 4 Switches, were you?
No, but that's different.
Or that was 7 copies of FIFA.
Providing for his family.
7? You're having a laugh, and it was double digits.
I mean, per format.
Wasn't that bad, but yeah.
Was that bad, James?
I was thinking about getting FIFA again today, the other day.
What do you mean?
buying it for PS5 as well. Just thinking, oh, buying that, but I'm not going to do that. Don't worry, that's not going to happen. It's fine.
Why would you do?
Keep an eye on his profile.
It's not going to happen. I'm absolutely fine with what I've got. It's fine.
Yeah, but the triggers, James, the triggers.
Yeah, it was weird. I admit it was fully weird. It was very, very weird. But yeah.
But anyway, now you've got 2 copies of Cyberpunk, and it looks amazing. So what else do you?
Although one of them I can't download anymore because it's been removed from the PlayStation Store. So
have you got the refund?
Oh, get a refund for it.
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to bother. Just wait. Wait for. What's the point? What's the point? Because I'm going to wait for the PS5 version anyway. So
yeah, we've said
it probably won't be full price by then. You may as well have your money back.
Yeah,
that's
and
true.
then when that comes out, it'll be...
That's true. Yeah.
Get it for less later on.
I'm not going to do that.
Well, no, because the next gen
version
version
to
will
burn
cost...
this guy. Look at him. He's
just can't be bothered, Sean. It's just
£50.
Tax deductible, Sean. It's fine. It's.
I also think that the Xbox One will be pulled soon. I reckon as well.
Yeah, it can't be far behind.
Microsoft said they're not doing that. They've already said today that that's not going to happen.
Really?
So yeah.
Have they?
Well, they think their certification process is absolutely bulletproof today.
Clearly.
That's what I said about Sony. Like, I'm pretty sure if all those articles didn't come out yesterday about them refusing refunds, then that would still be on the store.
Yeah,
I think that's just a knee-jerk reaction to those. And I mean, it's probably the right thing to do. It clearly doesn't work on the majority of the consoles that their store serves.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is probably the right thing to do. I guarantee they're doing it for the wrong reasons. But, that's...
Though, how bad is this? Because I've played it on PS5 briefly for about an hour or so, and it was perfectly playable. It seemed fine.
Oh, mate, have you not seen it on base PS4 and Xbox One?
I've seen some clips with very low frame rate and everything, but not anything.
And no textures.
Yeah, no textures. It's fucking unplayable. It's like a joke.
Is it worse than Fallout?
Oh God, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's absolutely atrocious.
But the thing is that what I'm thinking, right, is that I was looking forward to Cyberpunk, and I've got this Series X that can run games. I mean, you look at it can run games. You look at Assassin's Creed on it, and all right, it's not the best looking game I've ever played, but it runs at 60 frames per second and looks decent. You know what I mean? And then I started playing Cyberpunk, and I got about 45 minutes in, I think. And for those of you, I mean, it's not a spoiler, but you walk out of your apartment, and you see the city alive. It's supposed to be one of those wow moments, but it was ruined by frame dropping. And it wasn't insane frame dropping, like you say, James. It wasn't unplayable, but it was noticeable. And I was just like, well, that's just taken the edge off of everything. That doesn't look like, look at what this game can do. It's like,
look at what
this game is do. So I just thought, I can't play this. So I stopped. I decided, right, my mentality was, I believe they should have delayed it until it worked.
Yeah.
I can delay it until it works. So I just won't play it until I'm happy with it. And then I got a little bit bored the other night, and I thought, I'm going to boot it up again. Fuck it. Let's see how bad it is. And I just walking about, you just see him frame dropping and stuff like that. And sometimes it just freezes for 5 to 10 seconds. And you're just going, what? How? And this is on the Series X. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? So I think I'm just, the stuff that I did in it, I thought, this is really interesting, really cool. I like this. But I'm not playing it until the series, the next gen version needs to come out, and it needs to be patched to work. I don't want frame dropping. I want it to look decent. I'm not going to force myself through a game that I'm clearly going to like, I think. I mean, who knows? It's a long game. I only played 45 minutes of it. Sean's probably got a fair idea, but those little digs aren't going to stop Sean. I'm afraid. But
I think it was a dig, but okay.
Okay, all right. I mean, I'm not going to sit and struggle with it, so I'm just putting it away for a bit, and I'll go back to it when it works. Because I want to see it. I want to see it as the stuff that I've seen on the PC looks fantastic. But
Or Stadia.
Or Stadia.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's come up. That's come up. Sean's been bringing that up. Rightly so. Sean, rightly so.
So I've been playing it on PC because mate sorted me out with a new graphics card, which made the decision a lot easier. But even despite that, so I've now got it looking and running the way I would like it to. However, that is after following a guide from Digital Foundry, which explains, so basically some of the like graphics settings in the menus, setting them to higher levels will make the game run worse, but not actually change the way it looks. Like there's quite a few settings, they're like, we were not actually sure this works, but it does make things run slower if you turn it on, so just knock it off. I then had to open up a configuration file in Notepad and change the memory budgets, because it turns out the PC version is using the same memory budgets as the Xbox versions. What's that?
Yeah. This is like 1993 or 1994 again.
Oh, I'm not finished yet.
Editing auto-exec files.
Yeah,
stuff.
so then, and then there was a community made patch, which fixes loads of performance issues. And then I had to use a hex editor on the game, like on the application itself, so that it would use all of the cores in my AMD CPU.
Oh,
After all that, great.
Okay. Great concept.
But even then, there's bugs and stuff. Like I'm having issues with just things like, so as you're driving around the city, you'll get jobs from the fixer in the area, and sometimes like I'll pull up to, you know, there'll be an icon on the map saying, oh, there's a random job here you can do, like bust someone out of a gang hideout or something, and it, you know, it's like, oh, new quest, and I'm like, all right, fine, go in, get the guy out, leave, go to another quest, and then the fixer appears going, hey, you should bust this guy out of a gang hideout. And I'm like, I thought I just did that. I'm pretty sure I just did that. And I was like, hang on a minute, I don't recall getting any rewards for doing that either. And then, and it's just like, yeah, so sometimes it just won't register that you finished like a side job or whatever.
Fuck.
And then sometimes you'll finish a story mission and it'll cash in like 3 other jobs at the same time. It's a shit like that. It's weird. It is... Like, there are so many things that they've, like not even bugs, right? Things they've just chosen not to put in, which aren't really a problem. It's just odd. Like, you've probably heard, so there's no AI for the cars, right?
Yeah.
So if something gets in the way of an AI car, it just stops.
Yeah.
And if you look away, sometimes it just disappears.
Yeah, disappears,
yeah. I've tried that.
People do. And,
yeah, and like... For a game where, you know, that's all about like modifying yourself and installing loads of cyberware and changing your clothes and what have you, you can't get a haircut. Why can't you get a haircut? Like, it's not a problem. It hasn't bothered me. It's just like Witcher 3 did that. Why is it not in this? I don't. And it's
Is this like... the worst state a game has ever been released in? Like a major game.
I mean,
that come out worse.
What? Sorry.
Like what?
I don't know, that's the thing. I'm struggling. I have to think about it. But
yeah, I mean, Fallout 76 has been brought up a lot, but
yeah,
by the sounds of it, that was more of a content problem than.
I was going to say, yeah, content problem, and also, you know, order marketing and stuff around it, and the lack of, you know, bags and stuff like that. That was bad. Some people have also brought up No Man's Sky, but that was just
disappointing.
Yeah, well, that was a content thing as well. It wasn't what we'd hoped, but this feels
like that was a team of like 15 people.
Exactly. Yeah. This is one of the biggest developers on the planet.
Yeah.
I still haven't started.
Imagine if Grand Theft Auto come out in this state. You know what I mean?
This is it, right? It's because of the sort of game it is. It's in your head. You're automatically comparing it to GTA. And I think you sort of... Because you look at GTA as the template of these games, whereas actually you forget that nothing is really quite like GTA. And even though GTA 5... You know, to be fair, GTA 5 ran on a fucking Xbox 360. But... Yeah. But yeah, you forget that GTA's always been head and shoulders above everything else in terms of tech and stuff. But I just, yeah.
So I mean, CD Projekt Red, they got this huge reputation. Is that literally just down to The Witcher?
Pretty much. And bearing in mind, Witcher 1 and 2 are apparently good, but like Witcher 3 was when they really arrived, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So you're basically looking at one actual massive hit.
To me, I think, I mean, I've said this to you guys privately, but to me, it feels like a studio that got a shit ton of money,
out of The Witcher 3 really thought that they were that they were unstoppable, and they took on this project and had ideas way above their station. Seriously, and they just ballsed up with the time management and all of that sort of stuff. And at some point they had to ship it, because there are investors involved and they're forcing things forward. Like they can just pull investment, they not fund them for the next year or whatever. So what are they going to do then? The whole project could fall apart. So I think the trigger was just pulled, and it feels like they bit off more than they can chew, and that is a real. I mean, I'm sure that happens in gaming all the time, but to see it play out so publicly is
so blatant.
It's the crazy thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and I've been slagging it off a lot. There's plenty of good things about it. It's fundamentally very good fun. The experience of walking around the city and exploring the city in general is it is stunning. Like when you first, like you were saying, like when you first come out of your apartment or when you first come out of the building, that's impressive. But I also really loved so it's like, have you all seen Dread?
The film, yeah.
Yeah.
I have, yeah.
So you basically live in one of those massive blocks, and it's got the sort of hollowed out middle. So you step out of your flat onto this sort of balcony, and you're just looking up and down. It's like, fuck me, this is amazing. Like it's so beautifully put together. The world, at least. And there's little things like, so when you're in conversations, like most RPGs, you press the button to talk to someone, and then it's like you're looking straight at them. Yeah, and then like the whole Bethesda thing, or BioWare or whatever, and it's like, whereas this, it's like you're still in first person, and you can look around, and there might be you might be able to look at things and do certain actions. Like it doesn't really affect much, but just little things like you've been having a conversation with someone, they're sitting down, you're stood up, and you choose at which points in the conversation you choose to sit with them or stand up again, point out. So very early on. So if you, so I'm playing with the Street Kid origin, and you're in this bar, and this guy's in a booth, and you go to meet with him, and you sit down opposite him, and then his heavy who stood next to you comes and sits next to you. So you're talking to the guy you're having the meeting with, and you can just sort of pull to one side and look at this guy next to you and be like, "Fuck, are you looking at?" And he kind of looks a bit embarrassed and sort of looks away. And it's like, that was completely optional. And it meant nothing, but it just made me feel like I'm here. It's interesting.
Sure.
And there's tons of stuff like that.
Oh my God, I need to take a photo of this. Hold on.
Oh God.
Oh no,
he just moved. He moved. Yeah,
he just moved. There was a distorted image of your face on my screen. It was incredible. Then it just looked like you were going off to one side. So.
But then, so there'll be cutscenes. So, say you finish a job and you go to a bar with your mate, and it's like, let's have a drink, and it's like, and again, you're talking, but then there's all these other little options, take another drink or toast to such and such, whatever. You're like, man, this is amazing. And then later on in the game, you go back to a bar, and barman's like, oh, do you want a drink, mate? And you go, yeah, sure. And it just goes, meh. Menu comes up, it's just the transaction menu, and you're like, oh, I'll have a bottle of something, and there's no that's it. And then that's just an item that goes into your inventory, and it's like, no, I want to be able to just walk into bars and sit down and have a drink.
Yeah,
and those animations exist.
Kind of believed it would be in some regards, didn't we? I thought it would be a thing, just go anywhere, do anything, and
it's like the world's so beautifully put together, but there's very little reason to just stop and exist in certain places other than shooting people, which is a shame.
So I downloaded. I mean, I said in the pod about really hyped a couple of years ago, and then more recently, I'm just kind of bored of the previous cycle, and then up to launch, I was just going with regular expectations, and I had it downloaded. It's still downloaded on my Xbox, and I got busy at work, so I didn't play it. But then all the reports saying, okay, it's really bad. I'm like, okay, well, if it's really bad and buggy, I'll live with that. But then you see enough people saying, actually, no, you should just wait, because you're kind of, like David said, you're kind of robbing yourself of these moments that.
Yeah.
Later down the line, and yes, you can always be waiting further and further and longer. We don't know when the next gen version is coming out. That could be this time next year, and maybe we could be waiting for 6 months for the right patches to fix things. But I do want to experience it the right way. But then I'm also part of me thinking, well, I kind of want to see how bad it is now. So I haven't started it. Maybe I will this weekend just to see, but
Yeah.
I haven't. Really
I mean,
felt
there's
the need
there's the three different origins. Maybe pick one that you don't think was going to be your favourite. Play a bit of that, see what you think, and then when you do come back to starting it fresh, you choose a different origin. It's not like you then comparing it to the bad experience you had before. Do you know what I mean?
But are you carrying on, Sean, on PC? You're happy enough with it, are you?
I am, yeah. But even so, I'm knowing that, like, so I mean, I think I've spent about 30, 40 hours on it now. But I've been doing a lot. I've been doing a lot of side stuff. So story-wise,
some people said you can finish it in like 30 hours if you just mainline it.
Yeah, if you just went through the main quests, yeah. What's
Wow,
Dave
you
up
spent
to?
a lot of time.
What's Dave up to?
I was just watching James.
Okay.
I thought you were watching, yeah.
So yeah, part of me's like, well, yeah, if I am going to spend like another 80 hours on this, would I be better off just stopping? Because like I said, there's still bugs, and there's still just design choices that just feel a bit weird, but then it feels they've got such a long road ahead of them just to get it working on all the hardware and stuff.
The thing, isn't it?
Then they're not going to be adding or changing anything substantial for a long time. So
I've heard a lot of people say, "Oh, with Witcher, that they updated that over years and years, and say, well, obviously at one point it will come good." And I think it was on the Bombcast. They said, didn't they do loads to the Witcher 2 or Witcher 3 to basically rewrite the first few hours? So it's not like they'll just do patches. They will make this right, and this will ultimately end up being an incredible experience at some point. But how long do we have to wait for that?
Yeah,
I think I played The Witcher 3 mostly on Switch, and I regretted that to a degree because then when I played it on PS4 Pro, it was like like when you put your glasses on, to like look at something and like the insane difference it makes, and that's what it was like. And that's why this time I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to play like something which is obviously going to be worse. I'm just going to wait, for what?
PS5. Yeah, I wonder how different our opinions will be when we come back in January.
I'm predicting exactly the same
because they've always said okay, major patches in January and February, so could be
what year?
What year? We might come back and they wouldn't have had a massive patch. They would have just had some little things here and there.
See, this is the thing, like, so playing the PC version and having still quite a few issues with it, and then you look at like the roadmap for the patches. It's all console stuff, and rightly so. But again, so I'm like, right, so my experience of it isn't really going to change for a long time.
No, probably not, no.
Yeah. See, and this also hasn't helped, obviously, with all the crunch stuff, is it? Because it's like, you're just thinking they were forced to, like, push this out as quickly as possible. Like, get it out, like, when it had to be, like, in time for Christmas or whatever. And now, because of this, even though almost certainly they probably said this is not ready, this is not finished, and now they're going to have to work through the whole of the Christmas and all that, to, like... get it presentable. It's just.
I mean, can you fucking imagine being at that studio now and looking at, like, so the game was supposed to be out, like, right, it's it was delayed till December, but at least it'll be done. Christmas off, brilliant, and it's just
start looking at the expansions in the new year. It's
like years their life into it, and then you think it can be over, but it's just not over, and it'll.
They must have known. They must have known it was coming.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they've known for months internally. This is going to be bad when it launches. We'll have to get out and keep fighting.
Wasn't it supposed to come in April this year as well?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
interesting though. I can't remember if we posted it in our WhatsApp group, but there's like comparison videos of the game now versus the footage in 2018 that we saw. Does actually look a lot better than it did then, which you don't see often.
Really?
Normally it's the other way around. It's like, oh no, they've clearly like tightened loads of things up visually and improved the lighting and stuff. It looks way better. But then it's like, maybe you should have just slowed down and made it work first. So yeah.
So that's it, Dave. You're out now until what? Next gen? Until major patches or what?
Yeah, probably until next gen. Because I want to see it look nice as well.
Because that is a big part of it. Unavoidably, it's like it does look
games
beautiful.
like that. It definitely is. There's definitely a big part of it. So,
James, are you also waiting until next gen?
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. Unless I get the Stadia version, then maybe that'll be the thing.
Loving it. Anyway, Merry Christmas.
Are we all excited?
Yeah. I am actually. No, it'd be good. But we did that at the start. I should say as well, for our Patreon listeners, we've been absolutely blown away by the reactions to the Game of the Year show.
Oh God, yeah.
I've had a few questions. The first being, was it a work? James.
I mean, are we? Okay, I wasn't sure if we're going to mention it all now.
Oh, really? What, you think it might still be a spoiler? Okay, we can save it till January.
I think someone did say in the chat at the very start, no spoilers.
Let's not get specific, but yeah,
show.
safe to say, we're blown away by the feedback.
Okay, so we have blown away. Someone asked if something was a work on the show, but all I can say is, and I mean this is 100% true, we do not set anything up on that Game of the Year show at all. We actively avoid telling people throughout the year what we think should be Game of the Year so that the other, you can use that in an argument. So that's it. So the outcome, no, we had no idea what it was going to be when we launched. I think that's where the nerves come from.
Yeah.
And then
definitely.
And the way we got there, it was completely out of the blue to me. So if you haven't heard that, good luck with that episode. But know that we had no idea what was going to happen, just as much as you'll have no idea what was going to happen while you're listening to it. But yeah, no, thanks to everyone that got in touch to say that they enjoyed it, because it's been a phenomenal response to that pod. It's been really good.
Yeah.
I think we broke records on it on download day one again, right, Matt?
Yeah.
So it's pretty nuts. And you know, I mean, we said it on that show, but we'll say it here as well. Thank you so much for the support throughout the year. We know it's been a tough year, and we felt it. You guys have felt it, but to know that you've been supporting us throughout, or even just this month, we really, really do appreciate it. Thank you.
The amount of people with the feedback saying, you know, great Game of the Year show, but just thanks for everything over the year. It was really nice, because I think, again, like I said on that show, you know, you guys, you listeners and viewers out there have helped us as much as anything. You know, we've all been trying to get through this year together, so we've been happy to do the pods, and it's been amazing having you with us, you know, to get through it all together.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's.
People say that.
Sorry, Matt, go on.
No, that's it.
Okay. Sorry, yeah, I don't know if anyone else feels the same, but this has felt more worthwhile than my actual job this year. I think.
Yes.
You know, people messaging saying how the show's just like a bit of normality for them and stuff. It's been huge, and it's been good for us as well, as Matt was saying.
Yeah, we know every Monday, you know, we record that and it comes out Wednesday. It's some element of control, some constant. You know, isn't going to be pulled out from under you.
James, do you want to say anything?
I was trying to, but then every time it happens, things happen. But yeah, no, it has been amazing. Every time we get those messages, it really does mean a lot. Like every time, you get something comes through, it's fantastic. It does make things feel like this is absolutely worthwhile, and it's brilliant. Yeah, it's been
unless they're telling you how much FIFA is that week.
Yeah, or asking about Joy-Con drift, things like that. Then it's pinned now in the Discord. You know, just check.
But more importantly, we really hope that you have as good a Christmas as is possible in this situation. We all know that this will come to an end, and when it does, we are going to have we're going to have some fucking party. I'll tell you that.
Let's go GX, baby.
Yes, we are going to get together, and we are going to have a hell of a party. If I don't get called away just before the party begins, like last time.
Oh yeah.
Still bitter about that. Still bitter.
I can imagine.
Me too. We had a terrible drive back in the taxi. Really bad.
Oh my god! Yeah, James was about to piss himself.
Yeah, me too.
It was the worst. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that would have been any easier if Dave was there. I don't think it would have helped.
No, I would have made it worse.
Come on, James, get into my hands. Come on, just do it.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever felt that bad before. It was.
I remember, it was stressing me out because I could see how uncomfortable you were.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, James. Try living in Malden
right? So I don't live too far away from Malden. Malden is end of the Northern Line. So whenever you go into central London, you've got a long journey back on the tube, and that Northern Line stops fucking everywhere. And it always goes, the next station is Malden, and you need a piss. Like the amount of times I've had to get out of at Balham, go into a pub near the tube station, go for a piss, then get back on the tube. It's yeah, that's no good. They've actually put security. There's a little alleyway. Anyone that knows Malden Tube Station, there's a little alleyway right next to it, right? And they've actually put security cameras down there because it just used to be a river of piss coming out into the streets. Where everyone would just get off the Northern Line and just run down that alleyway. Anyway, we'll leave you with that thought. That very Christmassy thought. We hope you have a great Christmas, great New Year, and we will catch you in the New Year. We're going to be right up for it, and we,
yeah,
be a good one.
Here we go.
It's great because we can do, as Sean said on the show a couple of times, we don't have to talk about the new consoles coming out. We can just get back to games. I can't wait for that.
I don't know.
I'm
Switch
so
Pro.
addicted to
It's not
games.
happening. Didn't you hear? It's not happening, James.
Is it not?
No, it isn't. No. Bowser said the other day.
Well, I said the Switch Lite wasn't going to happen. That did.
Thanks for living it, everybody. I was trying to turn that more Christmassy, but I couldn't. Thanks for Yuletide living it, please. Thank you.
I've been David Turner's. You've been the best. You've been the best.
Ho ho ho. We will catch you next month, next year. Thank you again. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.